Yeah. Smackdown time.
Okay.
Well, we watched Smackdown. It was a thumbs-up show if I ever saw one.
It ruled.
I really did love this show. We got feedback, lots of positive feedback on this show leading up to it, and it delivered.
Yeah.
It opened up with Tony Chimmel introducing The Miz. When I first heard about Miz, I was like, oh boy, I'm going to start hating this show real fast. I didn't hate Miz.
He was on several times tonight, and I never felt the urge to slap him.
I hate the booyah. That drives me nuts, or whatever he says.
Yeah, it sucks, and it's stupid, and he says it all the time, way too often. However,
they're getting it over.
The fans are getting into it, and
that's
saddened me, but if it works...
Hoorah!
Yeah.
That's the deal. It drives me fucking nuts, but...
Well, it's retarded.
I will say this about The Miz. He has got some energy.
Yes.
And he loves pro wrestling.
He does, in fact, love pro wrestling.
And he loves being The Miz on SmackDown. And when he announced all the matches for the show, he had such passion. It really made it seem like this was going to be a hell of a show.
He basically marked out.
I've got to... It pains me like you don't understand. I've got to give The Miz a big thumbs up for this evening. He did a fine job.
You know, I hadn't thought about it, but I suppose I would have to as well.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, there's still more to come. Paul Heyman came out to do commentary for the opener. There's another man. I've got to give 2 thumbs up to Paul Heyman. He did commentary during this match, and he did more for the ECW relaunch in 15 minutes than this entire company has done for the relaunch in the last 4 weeks.
Yes.
He explained everything. He explained what it was going to be. He explained the philosophy behind it. He explained what Kurt Angle was going to be doing.
And he was passionate about all of it.
He was passionate about it. He plugged the pay-per-view. He plugged the people on the pay-per-view. Just 5 thumbs up.
I have said it before.
2 thumbs, 2 big toes, and my dick. I'll just go as far as...
You could have said head, but you had to get lewd.
I did. But yeah.
I've said it before. There is no greater fan of Paul Heyman as an on-screen performer than myself, and once again, he was awesome.
And he was doing commentary for a huge thumbs-up match.
That did not hurt.
Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is getting old. He's broken down. He's got a bad neck. He's the incredible shrinking man. Although he found the tanning bed finally, he still put on one hell of a match. One hell of a match with Rey Mysterio.
There's no one else, certainly in this company, who could have done a match like this.
And also, I should note, it was a very low-impact match for Kurt Angle. That's the key. He was doing a lot of mat wrestling. See, here's the deal. We had a long talk about this on the Dave Show, about Kurt Angle going to ECW. At this point, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt as far as what's going to happen when he goes to ECW, because it's not going to be Kurt Angle doing barbed wire matches and thumbtack matches and going through tables and hardcore bullshit. He's going to be going in there, and he's going to be a wrestling machine. And if he can be a wrestling machine and take 5 bumps per match because of it, physically he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Now, the issue of him losing out on 10 pay-per-view payoffs a year, okay, that's an issue. They're going to have to figure that out. 4 days on the road doing technical wrestling ain't going to be too bad. Now, on the downside, he ain't going to be working Rey Mysterio every night.
I was going to say, that's the other part of this.
I am...
Can he have this match with Axl Rotten?
No, but I'd pay to see it.
Yeah, I would too, actually.
I would pay to see Kurt Angle have an amateur technical match with the Sandman as well, and a number of other guys.
Yeah, because really, especially since it's worked, he can do it with anyone.
I am going to give the Kurt Angle thing a chance for now. I'm not completely down on it yet.
I was just stunned on Monday because it never crossed my mind, and after watching it tonight, I'm pro Angle ECW. At least as far as the actual wrestling goes, I'm trying to picture because. They announced him, and they're pushing him big as the star of ECW, which they should. And then he came out to the Angle music and the Angle pyro, and I said both of those are going to have to go. Because when we talk about how they're going to have to shoot ECW to the big arena feel will not work, especially with the SmackDown fans. And
they can't get rid of the music.
You want to keep the music?
Yes, they have to keep the music. They can get rid of the pyro. In fact, they will get rid of the pyro.
Yeah.
They cannot get rid of that music. That's like if you gave Shawn Michaels new music. I don't care if Shawn Michaels is going to TNA, Pride. He's got to have that same song.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's just one of those songs you can't change. It'll be fine.
We'll see, but yeah, they need to. And Heyman tried to do it here. He tried to basically wipe clean the past of Kurt Angle, which has a lot of times been great, and a lot of times this involved a little red cowboy hat or a milk truck or stuff like that. So, he said it's a chance to reinvent himself, and they're going to have to try and do that.
And there's a possibility. I will give them, like I said, the benefit of the doubt for now. I'm not totally down on this one yet. Anyway, like I said, they had a great match.
They had a fucking beautiful match. It was a wonder to behold, and I was happy to be alive.
The only downside was the lame count-out finish.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was even thinking about this, and I was like, you can't beat Ray.
Yeah.
And theoretically, you can beat a dude on his way out. But to me, Angle is on his way out to be the top star in the brand.
He's not on his way out. He's on his way into another part of the company.
Sure, but, I mean, you can... I think if you're leaving one company for another, but you're leaving one company to become the anchor of the other company, the guy, I don't know about doing a job on the way out.
No, he absolutely should not have lost here. I would have done time limit draw, and with about 15, maybe longer, 30 seconds to go, Angle gets the ankle lock, and Ray sells and sells and sells, but he fights and fights and fights, and he doesn't tap out, and the time limit expires. And Angle looks strong, Ray looks not quite as strong, but still, the champion who did not give up. They shake hands. Everyone's happy.
I don't even know if I would do... I wouldn't have done that, because I wouldn't have wanted Ray to look like he would have lost.
They've done it before.
I know, and it's been stupid.
I see.
I could think of a deal where, they're going back and forth. Angle puts him in the ankle lock. Ray does the little forward roll. Angle goes in and is set up for the 619. Ray's hitting the ropes when the time limit expires, or something of that nature. Because maybe he would have hit it. Maybe Angle would have grabbed him like he always does and puts him in the ankle lock. A million different things could have happened.
A million things could happen, but but in the long run, the match was so goddamn great, I don't care.
It was one stupid thing where Ray took an overhead belly-to-belly over the top of the floor on his bad knees, and I watched that and I thought, you'd have been better off landing flat back, to be honest.
Probably.
Because there was a time in the 90s. Keep in mind, it's now 2006.
The 90s were a long time ago.
Ray Jr. had so many knee issues that his doctor said, it is not safe for you to jump off a curb. A curb, mind you, is 6 inches off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want young Rey Mysterio to be jumping from a curb down to the ground. That's 6 inches, because he could fuck his knee up permanently.
Yeah.
Now Ray's doing overhead belly-to-bellies over the top, landing on his feet on the floor.
Bad times.
Not a good idea.
No.
Then we had... But that was a 4-star match, easy. Then we had Nunzio and Matt Hardy. You could say Matt Hardy won, but he won a competitive match with Nunzio. And worse, he didn't even get an entrance.
No, he was just there.
They came back from commercial, and he was just in the ring, waiting for his bout.
Yeah.
They had a match, and it was over. Matt actually won, believe it or not. Out came Vito in drag.
Why?
They've been teasing it for several weeks. I thought they would build up to it more, be more subtle about it. Like, they could have done is, like, Nunzio went to investigate at a restaurant. There was a rumor.
Yeah.
At the start of the show, they'd go, there's a rumor that Vito is at this restaurant in drag. Nunzio would go there. You just see a far-off shot of someone bald in the dress. And you're like, sweet Jesus, that's got to be him. But maybe not. Maybe it's just a broad woman with fake lats and a tattoo.
And bald.
And bald. You never know. They could have done a lot of wacky stuff like that. Instead, the match ended and he walked out in a dress.
He walked out in a dress. And we can only assume that Nunzio never had the balls to approach Vito about these rumors. And if he had, he said, hey, Vito, you got a thing for putting on women's clothing? And Vito would have said, yeah, don't you? And yeah.
It's been too long since we played this one.
Hey,
Put us in the camel clutch, break our back, and then fuck our ass.
Hey, look, it's good to want things.
That's right. I was giving Buddy Wayne fellatio. I was pleasuring him. And I bought myself a blow-up doll. I just couldn't handle the loneliness. I love loneliness. Good God, you little cocksucker. I love you, Dad. I love you too.
Whoa, what? Hang on.
You would have to break the man's back first. You've got the worst memory.
Yes.
Sure you do.
Hey, look,
guns, drugs, crime, homosexuality, and that's enough.
You know, I want to know what that background music is.
It's a pretty sweet song.
And while that was playing, I also found another drop we've never played on this show, but it sort of relates to what we were talking about earlier with Kurt Angle and his cowboy hat.
I think I'm cute.
Yeah!
I don't know metal. I got the moves that makes them all tap out the angle slap, the ankle lock, Marty Jannetty. Shit, can't fuck, I'm just a sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt! I'll make your
God, what happened to her?
I'm just a sexy Kurt. I'll make your ankle hurt. Ankle hurt! Woo! That's right, son, eat your heart out. Hands off the merchandise. Woo!
That was the best fucking feud, building up to the greatest fucking match there's ever been.
What does it mean when Kurt Angle did a better job singing than Sherry Martel?
It means Kurt's talented.
Good God, she sounded awful.
That's 100% true.
All right, Lashley cut a promo. I already talked about that. We're just going to move on. Miz was in the ring, and he introduced
Khali!
the great Khali. He was being interviewed by Rowdy Roddy Piper. And Michael Cole said his first true statement of the evening, "This may very well be the toughest Piper's Pit that man has ever had to take on." Piper asked if he spoke English. When he heard no, he was overjoyed. He made fun of the man, that sort of thing. And sadly, Khali didn't say a goddamn thing this whole night. That's the only complaint I have about this show.
Yeah, no Khali promo.
He should have been able to cut a promo. To make a long story short, Piper and Daivari got into a little argument. And I like how you know when I'm not going to remember a name.
What do you mean? Well, it was clear there. You were trying to think of his name. I was trying to help you out and move the show along.
I paused for literally an eighth of a second, and if you listen back to it, you will know that. It
wasn't the length of the pause. It was the pause where you froze and whatever syllable was prior to that.
I'm pacing myself like a good host.
Is that so?
I don't need to rush through all of my words. I can enunciate, slow down, and try and second guess me, you fucking goofball.
Sorry, Your Majesty.
Fuck you, you fucking goose!
That was also pacing right there, that pause for dramatic effect, and because I could not find the drop. Anyway, Daivari and Roderick Toombs, Roddy Piper, got into a little bitch fest. Piper attacked him, then Khali throttled Roddy Piper, and then gave him a judo chop, and he was killed.
I now mark out for the judo chop.
That is
the
his
judo
finish.
chop is over with me.
This is a man, they trust him to do so little that his finish is a judo. They don't even trust him to do the big boot. He might fall on his ass.
Yeah.
He's got to do the judo chop.
He did a headbutt and the judo chop, and Piper was killed, and Khali stood over him and roared, and judo chop.
Ashley came out, the new Smackdown diva, as if they don't have enough. Diva Search is starting next month, by the way.
Yeah.
That will be some fun times. We may have to bring back the live Diva Search commentary.
We can do a much better job of it now. Our equipment's
well,
superior.
there may be some, TV may not be accessible at that time, but we shall see what happens. But anyway, Jillian and Crystal had a wrestling match.
Now, when we say wrestling match, we do not mean bra and panties match.
They
we do not
grappled.
mean lingerie pillow fight. They had a athletic contest to see who could pin the other shoulders to the mat.
Or make them submit.
Or make them submit.
Or count them out.
Okay, yes.
Or win by
disqualification. Or perhaps go to a time limit draw.
Perhaps a 60-minute draw. That they did not go to. But
yeah, no Broadway.
The key to this is Crystal's been on TV for a long time, and I've often said she's good for literally nothing. She can't talk. She can't act. She can't ask a simple question as an interviewer. There's nothing this woman can do.
But she's hot.
I didn't even think she was that hot.
I think she's hot.
She is the least hot of all the divas in W.
No, she's hot. She was the hottest woman in the segment for starters.
No way. Ashley's way hotter.
No.
Oh, well, I'm turning you down. I don't need you for a minute. As I was saying, she's pretty much good for nothing. Maybe the least attractive diva on the roster. I'm trying to think of who would be less attractive. Maybe Jillian. Jillian has her days. This probably wasn't one of her better days. But I would not put her high on the list of attractive women. But anyway, the point is, she is in fact good for something. She had, perhaps, the best debut match I've ever seen for a diva in WWE. This was probably the first real match of her career. Probably had some matches in Deep South. I don't count that bullshit. This was probably the first match she ever had, certainly in front of a crowd this large. And she did a totally fine job. Very, very green. The match wasn't necessarily any good. But of all the debut matches I've ever seen from a diva, this may have been the best one I ever saw. If she actually trains and works out with like Trish Stratus and especially Fit Finlay, she could actually end up a good worker. And I cannot say the same for Ashley. I cannot say the same for even Jillian. I think there's hope for young Crystal.
This certainly was not a disaster on the par of, say, Jackie Gata or Ashley Massaro.
Oh, you're the woman, Jackie.
She's also hot. But yeah, you remember that disaster.
Yeah.
This is better than that.
Yeah. That's all you've got to say?
Well, I'm afraid you'll cut me off again if I misspeak.
No, I cut you off for second-guessing my decisions about who's beautiful and who's not.
Oh, I apologize, Your Highness. I will not voice my opinion again.
That's right. I'm going to get William Regal in here to
No, don't spoil that. We'll talk about Regal later. But, no, the match was fine. There were times where you could see Jillian literally putting herself into headlocks, but it worked. So, whatever. And
maybe that was Jillian's fault.
It could be, actually. You're right.
It wasn't. But still, seriously, dude. As an indie worker, you've seen a lot of people in their fucking first match.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me you've seen a lot of matches better than that tonight, a lot of performance better than her?
In the first match?
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say here.
Okay.
By no stretch of the imagination is she any good.
Okay.
But as far as for having a first...
What's funny is I'm not actually disagreeing with anything you say.
You're just being Vince. I can't handle that sometimes. Everybody is well aware of this.
Basically what you're saying is, number one, get off my mother. And you get off my mother. All right, fine. Me and Borash will both get off your mother. Thank you.
Didn't that happen tonight?
That did. Drops are getting fast
We're
turnovers
warping
here.
time. We should discuss the Michelle McCool promo.
I'd forgotten. Go for it.
It sucked. Michelle McCool came out after the match and doing the most blatant Stacy Keibler impersonation you could imagine. And she came out and cut a wretched, horrible, giggling promo about how she used to be a teacher and she was going to teach all the women a lesson and teach all the men a lesson. And that was it. And it was miserable.
The idea here is that they have found Stacy Keibler 2.0. In fact, they have found Stacy Keibler
Beta
0.01.
Yes.
Oh, God.
It failed.
This was not good.
Yeah, there was no hope for Michelle.
Well,
not as a diva.
I'm trying to think if she's worse than Crystal at speaking.
Crystal's not very good at speaking.
Think about that last pay-per-view where she had to ask
Melina?
one question, and it took her 8 hours
that was
to figure
very
it out.
That was very bad.
Taz cut the promo and challenged Lawler, as I noted. You see that pause there for dramatic effect? I did not actually forget the King's name.
Yeah, because you said he challenged, and then you paused. Before you left it was a vowel then into the...
Enough out of you. Let's get moving. We're an hour into this show.
Oh, Jesus, let's go.
I don't need second-guessing. Fit Finlay faced Caden Matthews. This was quite a little...
Final encounter.
I don't know if this was edited or not. It was very short. I was under the impression the match was longer, but it was basically Fit Finlay killing young Caden. He destroyed him.
Mm-hmm.
And Caden at one point got pulled underneath the ring.
Presumably by the midget.
He was saved by Finlay for more of a beating. He was beaten with the Kryptonite Crunch, whatever you want to call it. And afterwards, the midget was unleashed. I have been told by an anonymous source that in a match with Fit Finlay, the one you have to watch out for is the midget.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a second.
This midget was very stiff. He beat the hell out of young Caden. And the best part was the people were into it.
Yeah.
The midget is now over.
Oh, yes.
It has taken really a week to get this midget over.
He was over for me from second one. I love the midget.
He beat on Caden. He was slammed by Finlay on a Caden, and then Finlay threw him under the ring and gave him a good boot in the ass for good measure, and that was the end of that.
and the midget was never heard from again. He's just a midget that Fit Finley keeps under the ring for safekeeping.
Yes, that's where he stays.
I love this gimmick. I cannot get enough of this gimmick. Go, midget, go.
Then we had the main event. It opened with a 25-minute segment with Booker T coming out.
That should have been 40 minutes.
I will let you get into this.
Regal came out first, actually, to his old gentlemanly music. They've lost the Darth Vader song. And Regal came out and announced to everyone that he was going to introduce the King. And he called out King Booker. Booker came out to a new song. The last WCW music is now dead and buried. He now has the King Booker song. And Booker and Sharmell came out, and they were both wearing crowns, and Booker had his robe and his scepter, and as the music played, this regal, royal, majestic song played, Regal shouted, "All hail the King!
All hail King Booker!
All hail King Booker!" Over and over and over and over and over again for about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And as Booker slowly, calmly made his a march down to the ring, posing for photos along the way, addressing his subjects, returning their love, I like to think. And he slowly and eventually climbed into the ring and calmly sat in his throne, and it was
Booker
just awesome.
T has the best humble look.
Yes, the dewy-eyed humility.
Yes.
It's a sincere kind of feeling, like he understands that he is loved and he appreciates love and returns it.
Yes.
And he is the best at it.
He is a noble king. He is a great king.
He is a great king.
This ceremony was awesome. He's awesome. Sharmell is awesome. He sits in his throne and a shower of fireworks come out from behind it. I could watch this every single week for 25 minutes.
I hope they do the same entrance every week.
For 25 minutes, I could watch this over and over again. Out came Lashley. They had a match. Lashley beat him clean with the power slam, kind of muscled him up into it. He's a very strong man.
Indeed.
I was watching Lashley, and it reminded me of when I used to wrestle Buddy Wayne. I was a very green guy. He was a veteran. He was trying to teach me how to work, that sort of thing, which is what everybody's trying to do with Lashley. And there was a point where all I did was listen. I just listened. I listened and listened and listened, and he called everything. So eventually we started having more matches, and I guess he got comfortable with not having to call everything. So eventually there would be points where he just would not tell me what to do, and I'd have no idea.
Yes.
I would have no earthly idea what to do, and so I wouldn't do anything, or there'd be a moment of hesitation. And Lashley has improved dramatically, especially since starting to work with Fit Finley. But he still has that every now and then. And I notice it most when it's time for him to go to a cover. He never makes covers on his own. He waits for the man to say, "Cover me," and then he leaps on them. He's not to the point yet where if a guy doesn't tell him what to do, he just takes control.
Right.
That's sort of what he's missing right now. But the key is after the match, he was beaten up by Regal and Fit Finley. So they are going to send Blaster Lashley on the road with William Regal, Fit Finley, and Booker T. And by the end of the year, if he's not one of the top 5 workers on the show, I will be very surprised. It just wouldn't be this show without that fucking noise, would it?
No, the key here was Lashley got the clean pin, and then even as he was being beaten by 2 and then 3 men, he kept fighting back. So they made sure not to bury him at all.
And it was great because he was really fighting. And it took 3 men to hold him down.
3 men, all 3 of whom are apparently legit badasses, to fight back and hold him down.
It would have been the stupidest thing in the world, but I was waiting for them to finally call the midget to even the odds.
God bless the midget, this was not the right time for him.
Yes, but they beat the living hell out of him. They had Booker sit in the throne, and they made Lashley bow down before him and kiss his feet.
Yes.
Just great.
Just greatness. Lashley's going to have to run the gauntlet now, have to fight through, I'm sure he'll be fighting them both on the road for a while, but he's going to have to beat Regal and then beat Lashley, or then beat Finley, and then at the top will be Booker T. And
it was so great because the 4 men, well, he just beat Booker T tonight.
And now he has to beat him again and get revenge.
Oh, you start over again.
Yeah.
I see. But anyway, the point is they had 4 men positioned as top stars on SmackDown, and they were Booker T, Blaster Lashley, Fit Finley, and William Regal.
Yes.
And I give that the same 5 thumbs up I gave earlier, and
we will have to go to the store and buy additional thumbs up.
Where's my middle finger? I was once sent a giant foam middle finger by somebody, and I will hold that up as well. This was just a great show. I loved SmackDown.
SmackDown was awesome.
All right, let's get on to SmackDown. What were your thoughts overall on the show?
Good. You sound thrilled.
I just we need a song.
Play a song.
I need to take a break.
I haven't heard Brokeback Vinny in a while.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play this song here, and I'm going to play it on Tuesday as well. You'll remember that LG1106 wanted us to play Humbled, and I didn't know what song it was.
Oh, yes.
So we couldn't play it. Well, he sent it to me, and I've labeled it merely Humbled, so I won't be able to miss it on Monday. But since we screwed him out of his shout-out that he paid, I believe, $20 for.
Good God.
We'll give him a shout-out today and Monday and play the song both days. But here's Humbled, kids.
From Podair Inc., the people who brought you Warriors Queering Don't Make the World Work World Tour, comes the latest in self-help for the common man.
What's happening?
Sick of being cut off in traffic? The daily grind of life getting you down? Do women break your heart by not having the sex with you, even after you've shared your medicine with them? What's the answer to all of these questions?
But he's laughing like an idiot.
Me excellent question.
The Iron Sheik answers all of these questions with his new self-help program, Humbled, the Old Country Way. This program shows you how to solve all of life's problems in just 4 easy steps.
Suplex him, put him in a camel clutch, break his back, and then fuck his ass.
Brian Alvarez of the F4W Empire says,
My period's all weird.
Vincent Verhey of some fishing magazine I've never heard of says,
If the Undertaker's giving it to me and I'm 160 pounds Sean Daivari, I don't want Undertaker to have to ask.
Don't just take their word for it. Official Podaring spokesmodel and former WWE superstar Buddy Wayne says,
The road will own you.
How much would you expect to pay for this complete life-altering package?
99 cents.
Oh, yes.
That's right, for just 695 easy payments of just 99 cents, you too can have the secrets to humbling people the old country way. Don't be humbled any old way.
Is there a secret to
Be
this?
Apparently there are.
The old country
Lube?
way. Call today, 555-2486-2533. That's 555. Be humbled. Podair Inc. is not responsible for any loss of consortium, anal leakage, hurt feelings, or eternal damnation resulting from use of this product. For a full list of associated products and services, please visit www.vinnyisagoober.com.
What was that address again? VinnyIsAGoober.com.
I believe that marked the debut on the show of the terms anal leakage.
We did not actually need to hear that part, but...
Satchel ass! Satchel ass! Satchel ass!
Thank God for Terry Funk.
What the
promo is so
hell
awesome.
was that?
Have you not seen the promo?
No.
It's a promo on ECW.com. He's talking about Mick Foley. All their good promos now on the website. They don't show them on TV anymore.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but yes, he
Satchel ass! Satchel ass! Satchel ass!
The fuck?
he declares that he's no longer going to call Mick Foley's son. He says, I'm going to call him a new name. And he takes a while to think of the right words. And finally, he looks right into the camera and says,
Satchel ass! Satchel ass! Satchel ass!
And then he tells a story about his dad telling him not to trust any man whose ass was wider than his shoulders.
That'd be you.
No.
You know what's funny is somebody just emailed that to me, and I just saw Terry Funk and a word. And I was like, does that say satchel ass? I didn't even play it.
Satchel ass! Satchel ass! Satchel ass!
That's the best thing I've ever heard on this show.
It's pretty great.
Wow. Satchel ass.
Satchel ass.
I've never...
Ass like a satchel.
I guess that's what it means. I was confused. Well, let's...
the hell were we talking about?
Smackdown.
Sure.
What were your thoughts on that damn show? You satchel ass?
An entertaining show that could have done a lot more to sell the pay-per-view on Sunday.
I guess it's better to have a satchel ass than
Where's your ass? I didn't have an ass.
not have an ass at all.
That's the next poll. Satchel ass or no ass?
What has happened in this program tonight?
I don't know.
I like that they had a graphic for John Tenta. That was very nice.
Yes.
You can't say they have graphics for everybody because it's a lie. They don't.
No, they pass over many guys, and often they're shamed into doing it weeks after the fact.
Yes, they did this here without having to be shamed into it, so I was very happy to see that.
Part of that, of course, is Tanda had his biggest fame working for the company, which is always a plus and getting memorialized.
Yes, but There have been other people that
other
have
people
worked
who have also.
This was nice.
They did a nice thing.
Thank you. Show opened with Miz hyping up the matches for later on. If he had not come out for the bikini contest, I would have been totally 2 thumbs up for this role. He was out there, he introduced the show, and then I would never have had to see him again. Unfortunately, he returned. So,
well, there was a little bit of Miz overkill, but I will say he's every appearance he ever did in OVW is more annoying than anything he's done on SmackDown.
That is, in fact, an accurate statement. Regal came out and attacked. Actually, I'm sorry. Regal came out to introduce King Booker, and he was attacked by Blaster Lashley, and they fought, and Teddy Long came out, signed him to a match for later on. That was that. And then Booker never came out. I guess he just decided, well, I'll wait another hour.
Yeah, he was...
instead of coming out right now.
Ruffian Lashley was loose in the ring.
Well, he'd been taken backstage. Why didn't he come out then? Doesn't make sense, thanks.
Right,
and
fine.
Here's the other thing. Regal came out to introduce Booker T.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what was Booker T's role later in the show?
To watch...
To watch Regal and Lashley.
Indeed.
So what the hell was he going to come out for?
I don't know.
This is what happens when you don't think, which WWE has not done a lot of lately.
Clearly I was
thinking, that is. Well, you'd fit right in the writing crew in many ways, Vince. You're a subordinate, a lackey, and you'd come up with some wacky ideas and get yelled at by staff.
You know.
And eat catering.
Hang on now. You're taking this stand.
You may have to apply. Super Crazy faced Brian Kendrick. Fine little match.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing spectacular or anything like that, but it was a perfectly fine little SmackDown match. They did some good stuff. This was kind of a backdrop for Taz and Cole talking about ECW and that sort of thing. So, what can you do? And afterwards, out came everybody's favorite wrestler and really everybody's favorite promo. The legendary Great Khali. Destroyed all the men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Except, well, Psychosis ran away.
Oh, was that supposed to be like a thing?
I think, well, they were talking about it a lot. So, yes, Psychosis is a coward, and apparently they're going to split up the Mexicools, which would be fine, except they had Super Crazy win this match. So I don't know what any of it means.
Well, here's what it means. Great Khali is supposed to be the new Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Madisick was on the show the other day talking about Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant never appeared once on Wrestling at the Chase, not once on TV. Great Khali, it's awfully hard to be a special attraction when the special attraction's on TV every week. Andre the Giant, right now the Undertaker's a better Andre the Giant than the Great Khali. Undertaker's never on TV except on special occasions, thus he's a fucking special attraction.
Yes.
This is the worst... ain't gonna work.
Well, they
this might have worked with Great Khali, but they're just screwing it up.
Well, they are no good at making people seem special by keeping them off TV.
They're doing it with Undertaker. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, I don't think they're doing it intentionally. They're screwing up and doing it with Undertaker.
No. There is something to Undertaker only appearing on rare occasions. They understand that if he's not on TV every week, he's a special attraction. However, they don't make that same distinction with the Great Khali.
Well, the point I was going to make was they screwed it up before when they had Zach Gowen, who again...
Well, yes.
You put him on TV every week, and that's beyond stupid, but that's exactly what they did. So, yeah, they take the freak shows and put them on TV every week, and Undertaker gets the Andre treatment. This show just died right now. Just a second.
It did, in fact.
Everyone stopped.
I was sitting here waiting for you to conclude, and that was your conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just struck dumb. I couldn't... It's fine, we'll just continue.
Why not?
Paul Heyman has made an offer to Rey Mysterio. That was the big deal throughout this show. They were teasing he might jump ship. Crystal interviewed Finlay. This woman needs to be taken off my TV for the rest of my life, forever.
Wow.
I will tell you why. Dude. She went out there, and she interviewed Finlay like she was a huge star, and he was a dork. And I've never been so happy to see a man put his hand over her face to just shut her up. If I were Vince McMahon, fired.
Wow.
I would have fired her on the spot. She's good for nothing. I take back everything positive I said about her wrestling in the ring.
You're very fickle.
She just pissed me off with this performance. Not even understanding the point of an interviewer. The point is not to get yourself over. She was over there like she's the big star. I should play it back right now and just show you.
Okay.
Look at this.
I gotta look at it again. Cool.
Okay, just for that.
Now you changed your mind.
I almost changed my mind, but I'm actually so upset about this that I'm going to make you watch it. Tell me if this was not just absurd. Do we have the sound on? We don't have the sound on, do we?
No. Does it really matter?
You should probably hear it. Go turn it up.
All right, hang on.
So anyway, guys, welcome to the Brian and Vinny show at F4WOnline.com. I can make an announcement right now while I'm rewinding and Vince is bebopping around with the TV. We've got a new URL. You may now access the site at www.f4wempire.com. Please tell your friends. Yeah, that's that. And we are currently about to watch Crystal interviewing the great Fit Finlay. So hold on one moment. Here we go, Vince. Check out your sweetheart. Finlay, for the past 2 weeks, you just featured, well, a little something or other. And every wants to know, what? Was that not absurd?
I love her.
I hate you.
I don't care.
I hate you.
I would trade you for her in a second.
Go turn that down immediately.
Oh, God.
Now you must be punished.
Look at Finley's face right now where you paused it.
That is actually good.
If anyone's speaking, you hit the pause button. Good stuff happens.
I wish I could do that to you right now. Let's put you on pause with Finley's hand over your face. This woman, just fire this woman. She's good for literally nothing. God, that made me mad. At least he silenced her. What was I talking about here? Then we had Vito in the locker room with his dress on. All the other baby faces are homophobes. They fled the room. And Nunzio's like, you can't wear that dress, dude. And Vito's like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says about my dress. He goes, I'm going to wrestle tonight and show you what a real man I am. So just like that, the FBI are their rivals. They went out and had a match. Vito destroyed him. It is an uphill battle getting this man over. That's all I got to say about this.
That's about it. Yeah. It doesn't make sense, and no one cares, and no one cared about this.
I gotta cut you off for just a second. Hold that.
I have no problem with that.
You know, I often hear the comment about sometimes people claim there's a lack of analysis on this site, on the Figure 4 website.
I've heard that.
I've heard this before. Figure 4 Online is not about analysis, and they point to other websites that are all about analysis. To me, okay. You really need me to analyze the potential of Vito to be a star? I can tell you right now that it is an uphill battle to get Vito over. I give exactly as much analysis on this website as I feel is needed. And I feel any more analysis is an attempt to come off as smarter than you are. That's it. Okay. So I don't want to hear any bullshit about how there's no analysis on the site. I give as much analysis as humanly possible. I don't need to do analysis overkill, goddammit.
You give as much analysis as is necessary.
As necessary. Thank you. That's the first thing you said on this show, probably ever, that's been just
That's not true.
5 stars. That's right. I give exactly as much analysis as necessary. I don't need to fucking break down Vito and his dress. It's a stupid angle. They're trying to do something to get people talking. Somebody watched Sopranos and saw some dude named Vito that dresses in drag, and they're like, hey, we hate this fucking guy in the back. This'll be funny. Let's put him in a dress. And you know what? Let's give him a push for a little while, see what we can do with him. And you know what's going to happen? He ain't going to be any more over in 3 weeks than he was a week ago. This ain't going to work. There's your analysis. If you want more, fuck off.
That was amazing.
What were you going to say about this?
I don't know. Nothing that can top that, that's for sure.
Then we had the Regal and Lashley match, and this was a fine match. Mm-hmm. It was another match where Lashley was in there with a man who was tough.
Yes.
And you can beat on this man. He won't cry or complain. So he was very
effective.
He was very effective. He moved forward. He didn't have those major moments of hesitation. It was good stuff. Regal beat the hell out of him for a long, long time. The gimmick was that if Lashley won, he got a match with Booker T next week. So he won by DQ. And the story is next week it's Booker and Lashley on free TV. Something's got to happen because this makes no sense.
No, not at all.
If you're going to go through Regal to get to Booker, you got to beat Regal. Of all people, William Regal.
By count out, which is not good.
Like Regal's been on a win streak. So something's going to happen next week, and they're going to hold this off till the pay-per-view. Unless they're just totally brain dead. Which is a possibility. But I'm thinking that that's not the way it's going to go. But good match. Thumbs up.
And of course, there's always King Booker watching from his Regal throne.
Yes.
Cheering on the noble and gallant William Regal against the ruffian, the scoundrel, Lashley.
Scalawag,
yes. And at one point he just shouted to Regal, "Do it for your queen.
Do it for the queen."
The queen.
Yes, that was
good stuff.
Stretch him. That was my other favorite.
Yes, stretch him.
He commanded Regal to stretch Master Lashley.
And he did.
Mark Henry versus Raymond Rowe. Mark Henry won.
Squash match.
Let's move on.
Okay.
The Miz introduced Jillian, Ashley, Crystal, and Michelle McCool for a bikini contest. Your girl got schooled.
Oh, no, she didn't.
By Ashley.
She got robbed.
All these girls came out. Ashley stripped. I said, and I quote, "She's the winner." Crystal stripped, and you said, "We have a winner."
Mm-hmm.
I was right. Yes.
No, I was right. Everyone else was wrong. No.
That's not how
Crystal
life works, Vince.
It should be.
Well, I hate to break the news to you.
I think I should get my way all the time.
There was an angle here, by the way. Michelle didn't even strip. She grabbed the mic, ranted about the media, issues with how teachers are portrayed in the media. This woman sucks the charisma out of the room.
Everything you say about Crystal is how I feel about Michelle McCool.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, she needs to go.
If you could only fire one of them right now, who would it be?
I'd fire them both.
Thank you for. Let's move on.
That's a stupid question because
No, I'm asking who you hate more.
Probably Crystal because of the Finlay thing.
I appreciate you gave an answer.
If the Finlay thing had not happened tonight, if I had not seen her act so flippantly while interviewing Fit Finlay, I would have chosen Michelle McCool. Because at least I saw Crystal in the ring having a clue. But after the Finlay thing tonight, it's like, you can just go. Sure, I'm done with you for my whole life. And really, the answer to your question is Melina. Thank you.
Oh, well, of course.
Then we had Mr. Kennedy against Scotty 2 Hotty. Mr. Kennedy won. Comes back from a lat tear, so now his finisher is a senton off the top rope. That was a good one.
Well, it's better than his old finisher.
And the other comedy in this match is Scotty 2 Hotty walks through airports and restaurants and such in a suit and tie. And then he gets to the building and changes into jeans, tennis shoes, and a flannel.
That's always comedy.
A flannel.
Oh, yeah.
His ring gear is a flannel.
It's his gimmick. He's Scotty.
He was destroyed. Another backdrop for a bitch fest there. So later on in the show, they finally did the big angle, which was Cole in the ring saying he was going to interview Ray about whether he was going to ECW. We are still looking at Finlay with his hand on Crystal's mouth. It's very fitting, actually. I wish we had a webcam right now so I could just point it at that and leave it on for 15 minutes. Look at that picture.
It appears that Fit Finlay is doing Ric Flair's woo.
I'm going to go like this.
Can you make the whole screen?
I want to go like this. Hold on. Oh, damn it.
Killed it.
Hold on.
That's not nearly as funny now.
I got to rewind just a tad bit. Just a little
Does your DVR have frame by frame?
Yes, it does.
It does. That's a different one, but it's still good.
Hold on. I gotta go forward just a tad. Oh. Damn this goddamn thing.
At least it's working now.
Here we go. There we go.
Now he's making kissy faces.
Yes, and look at Crystal.
She's so miserable.
Okay, let's move on here. They had a thing with Ray. Cole asked if he was going to go to ECW, or he was about to ask when Taz hit the ring. And Taz announced that he, in fact, was going to ECW. Big surprise, kids. Big surprise. Heyman hit the ring, escorted Cole out, called Ray out, and all I got to say, and many of you will probably understand this, Paul was being so Paul Heyman tonight. It's really all I got to say. Paul was just, I'm sure a lot of wrestlers have met this Paul that we saw tonight.
You don't say.
He gave Ray the whole pep talk, this, that, and the other thing. Ray's like, ever since I came to WWE 4 years ago, I've been a SmackDown guy. I actually wonder if that's true. I don't ever remember being on Raw now that I think about it.
No, he made his debut on Raw. It was the Homecoming show. It was Rey Mysterio's debut on Raw, and I thought they were going to make a big deal out of it. And, of course, it was the SmackDown match that got canceled.
I see.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that, thank you.
This sticks with me.
Why? How did you know it was his SmackDown or his Raw debut?
Because I remember, I guess I can't prove it, but I remember thinking, hey, Ray's never been on Raw before.
So this is just your own.
I trust my brain.
All right, fine. I'll give you that. Hopefully someone on the board can prove your brain wrong. But
Ray's been on Raw. Ray's been on Raw twice. Once was wrestling Shawn Michaels for the Eddie Show. And
for the what?
On the Eddie Show when he wrestled Shawn Michaels.
Oh, okay.
And the other was the Homecoming show when they had the SmackDown match where Ray came out and then they just canceled the whole thing.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
So, what's the point? Oh yeah. So Paul Heyman said, "Fine. I appreciate your honesty, blah, blah, blah. I respect you as a champion.
I admire you as a man.
I admire you. I wish you luck on Sunday, and I wish you luck tonight. You shall need it." And he left. Classic Paul Heyman.
Yes.
Went to do commentary. It was Ray versus Finlay. Another good match. A lot of good wrestling on this show now that I look back.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really think about it at the time, but at least 3 good matches on this show, so thumbs up for that. But Sabu ran in at the finish and beat up Ray. Actually, he distracted the refs, so Finlay used his whatchamacallit on young Ray and hit the Kryptonite Crunch, or the whatever the hell you call it, the Emerald Frozen, and pinned him. That was the end of that, and afterwards Sabu put Ray through a table outside with a big dive. So that was your final big to the paper, you know what I'm trying to say here. Final build to the pay-per-view on Sunday.
I was going to let you dig yourself out of that one.
I did a fine job, thank you very much. And let me pump you here a little bit.
That's the way I like it.
He was begging for Craig to pull his pants down and show his ass. We fucked Vince, basically. Vince was just blowing Sean. Sean, your overall thoughts?
I liked it.
Who's your daddy? Those are now old school drops.
Satchel ass! Satchel ass! Satchel ass!
That's the old school versus the new school right there.
Terry Funk is so great.
Terry Funk's part of the new school. Think about that. So anyway, that was the end of the show, and I give the show a mild thumbs up.
Yeah.
I give it a mild thumbs up because there was a lot of good stuff on the show, good matches. Can't give it a total thumbs up because it didn't really do a whole hell of a lot for me as far as wanting to see the pay-per-view on Sunday.
No,
there's been a lot of that lately with WWE.
Especially coming off the head-to-head show that was so special. It wasn't great, but it was, it was different and reminded you there's a pay-per-view on Sunday that you should see to see something different. And this was just another SmackDown.
Just another wacky SmackDown show. Yeah. So it was a fine show. We missed the first 5 minutes due to circumstances completely within my control, stupidity. But it was Ray versus Gregory Helms, and they had a very competitive match. Amazingly, Ray did in fact win. These spoilers were not fake.
No.
He beat Gregory Helms.
He pinned a man.
He did pin a man. And the funny thing is, the fans were going nuts for the near falls because they actually thought Gregory Helms might win.
Yes.
And that is saying something. So anyway, I give that match a thumbs up. We're going to kind of rush this one since we're many hours into this show right now. But
definite thumbs up. Yay, Ray.
Oh, by the way, JBL is doing commentary. I don't know how they explained this at the beginning of the show because, like I said, we missed 5 minutes of it, but hopefully they had some sort of excuse as to why he lost a loser leaves town match and returned to town 2 weeks later to do commentary. And during the job of commentary, he made it very clear he's going to be returning and he wants Ray. So
yeah.
Apparently he's not retiring, but I don't know. We shall see. And he was all right. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because both of us, Vince, have done commentary.
Yes.
And the first time we sucked.
Yes.
Everybody that got the Pinnacle DVD, I think it's still a good DVD, and maybe we did a fine job. We've gone back and fixed the commentary snafus as far as the timing is concerned, but it was hard. And so I'm giving JBL the benefit of the doubt. He had some funny lines in there, but he talks too much.
I was going to say.
The guy can't fucking shut up.
He says way more than he needs to, and it was fine when he would come out and do commentary for one match, and he'd be talking about his opponent in the ring or the man he was going to facing, for example, and it would be 10 minutes of JBL Motormouth, and it was fine. 2 hours of it is too much.
Oh, God, I just yawned.
You did. I bored you.
I tried not to. It's fucking 125. Then we had, it was supposed to be King Booker and Bobby Lashley, but Regal and Finlay attacked Lashley and beat him up and injured his knee, and they teased Lashley wouldn't be able to work, but of course he was, and apparently that's the new big tag team, Regal and Finlay.
Good.
Awesome.
No problem with that. The only other thing I have to mention about this is that when Lashley was almost to the ring when Finlay and Regal came running up to get him, and for an old guy with a bad leg, Finley's fast.
That
dude can move.
He's got a bad leg, but I mean it works. He just can't feel it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like.
Don't say it.
Mr. Kennedy faced some dude.
Did he ever get named?
I believe it was Nick Burke.
I think there were 2 anonymous squash matches in the show.
There were. This was whatever, nothing exceptional. Kennedy's all ring entrance, and, he can squash a man, but what's going to happen when he has to work a longer match? We shall soon see.
He got the win with the Rude Awakening, which they had a wacky name for.
Yeah, the
Green Bay Meat Packer. His name has to go.
Oh, God. Batista's back in 21 days. Sylvan is now the ambassador of Quebec, and the Mexicools...
Still not over.
The Mexicools cannot act. You think you've seen some bad SmackDown promos with dudes that can speak English. Oh. And we saw some bad ones.
This is not the worst promo of the night, by the way.
To be honest, this was better than Michelle McCool.
No.
Yes.
I must disagree. At least none of these guys ever looked at the camera.
That's why it was so bad. I said this was better. She was horrible.
Okay, yes. I misunderstood. Sorry, my bad.
That's typical of you. So then we had the Great Khali and the Mexicools. The Great Khali won.
He did, in fact, pin them.
Psychosis bailed on his partner, so apparently they're going to break him up. And then afterwards, the Great Khali announced that he was Bewoom. Indeed. So that was great.
And who are we to argue with the Great Khali?
I love the Great Khali.
You have to.
I say it every week, and I mean it. That's the key. I'm not joking here. I love the Great Khali.
This is not irony. This is not sarcasm. Khali rules.
Matt Hardy and Gunnar Scott, or Gunnar Smith, or whoever you want to call him, Brent Gunnar Smith Albright, faced Finlay and Regal in a tag match. Finlay and Regal are awesome.
Yes.
As if that needed to be said. Just had a great match with these two guys. And the whole... JBL just buried Matt the whole time, 6 feet under. The funniest line was when Michael Cole called Gunnar Scott a protege of Chris Benoit, and even JBL, who hates everybody, is like, that man could not lace Chris Benoit's boots. I was like, well, there you go.
That's true.
Everybody knows. They had a fantastic little match right there, and Finlay won with his gimmick for about the 84th week in a row. And you know what? I hate Team Canada winning with a gimmick every week, but I could watch Finlay do it every week. I never have a problem with him winning with the shillelagh.
There's 2 key differences here. One is Finlay's been winning with a shillelagh for 2 months, not 4 years. Number 2, Finlay is not, in fact, anyone on Team Canada, actually. I didn't even know which one to compare him to, but he's better than all of them.
That's right.
So, yeah, I agree. More Finlay and Regal, please.
Good stuff. So then after that, oh, by the way, the midget returned, who is, I believe his name is the Little Bastard. They kept calling him that over and over, and even Cole was calling him that, so that may be his name.
Sure.
Little Bastard. You know what they need to do is get the song by the Ass Ponies.
I am not familiar with this band.
Really?
No, I've not heard of the Ass Ponies.
I believe that's the name of the band. Somebody needs to find the song Little Bastard by the Ass Ponies and upload it to the website.
I will say that Bastard
I actually should not be encouraging illegal behavior. I'm sorry I said that. Everybody go to the music store and please purchase Little Bastard by the Ass Ponies, if it's even still in print. It is a fantastic song by a shitty, shitty band. It's like a bunch of businessmen that started a band and actually got a CD.
Wow.
And that was...
well, you can do that if you just produce it yourself.
Did you just thump the floor?
No, I mumbled.
No, there was a...
Oh, I thumped the stool.
Knock that off.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, the midget attacked him and they threw him out of the ring. And
the midget also attacked Regal.
Yes, he
took him down with a double leg.
The wrong white guy.
Yes, Finlay had to pull the midget off Regal and sick him on Gunnar Scott.
Chavo did an interview in mid-ring, and Cole tried to get him to come back and that sort of thing. Mark Henry came out, and it's one of those promos that just made no sense. Chavo's retired, so Mark Henry's like, I wish you hadn't retired because I'm the guy that retires people. He's retired, dude.
No, yes, it didn't make a lot of sense, but it worked because Mark Henry's promos are cool, and god damn, Mark Henry's big.
Well, we were watching with the screen stretched out for once. So.
Well, he's also doing with Chavo Guerrero.
That's also true. He's a giant man. Don't get me wrong.
just watch him. His legs are like a dinosaur.
Yeah, he's huge. So he killed young Chavo Guerrero. So apparently that's going to be a feud for a while before Mark Henry finally gets to Ray. I hope they put the belt on Booker or something and not Mark Henry. I would not be able to fathom such a thing.
I'm wondering if
wrong.
Mark Henry's going to main event a pay-per-view.
The thing with Mark Henry is they're trying so damn hard, but he will always be sexual chocolate fucking Mae Young.
No.
Yes.
I disagree.
He'll always have that.
I don't think he'll ever be any better than he is now, but I watched him now. I do not think about Mae Young. I don't think about him banging his sister or whatever the hell else he did.
Is he any more over, dude? Seriously?
That much. At least now they don't laugh at him.
Okay, but other than that, it's the same fucking guy. And the people,
he's a big stiff.
The key is they look at him the same way. It's like, that's the guy that fucked Mae Young. And they don't care.
No, it used to be that's the guy that fucked Mae Young. Now that's the guy who has crappy matches. I don't know if that's any better. It's different.
Well, I disagree, but that's fine. Michelle McCool's bullshit. Go for it. I don't care. I'll cut you off then. Michelle McCool and Ashley had a skit. Ashley looked like a multi-time Emmy Award winner next to Michelle McCool. Michelle was so fantastically, horrendously, horrifically bad. I don't even have words for how bad this woman was.
This is the worst ever.
This was just... Imagine her and Tori doing a skit, like at an Interbrand pay-per-view.
No, Tori would school her. Tori would put her to shame. Michelle McCool must be fired immediately.
I don't even know what they talked about.
It doesn't matter.
Awful.
It doesn't matter.
And then we had the main event, Booker and Lashley. Good match. It was very long. Lashley's improving.
I was gonna say Lashley's getting a lot better.
He's still green.
Mm-hmm.
He's not Brock. He's not Angle. I know those are awfully high standards.
Well, yeah, but
those are two men where even when they were very, very, even very early on, they didn't have that greenness about them.
Yes.
Brock did for about 2 months, but he very quickly was just like another guy.
Mm-hmm.
Lashley, you still see him as a guy that's always following. He's always sort of got that, he's the greenness about him. So hopefully that he won't have that much longer, but he was called up earlier than the other two. So
Think about that, by the way.
Yeah. But, no, I can't say that. Angle got called up very quickly, but he was a freak.
Angle's a freak. Angle's a once-in-a-lifetime freak.
And Brock was called up early, but turns out he was also a freak.
He was also a freak.
And Lashley's a freak, but he's a different sort of freak. I don't know if he's got I don't think he's got the same level of aptitude as the other two, but we shall see. But this
he's
was
definitely
good.
Getting better.
Booker did a fantastic job with the man.
Yes.
And he just beat him. Lashley sold the knee injury a little bit dramatically. He sold it like he had a wooden leg that was on fire, but, you got to learn at some point. So he was in there, and he finally went for, Booker T, went for the axe kick, and Lashley caught him in midair and power slammed him. That was the end, 1, 2, 3, and it was good.
And that was the end of the show.
It was.
So,
Well, now I don't understand, because I thought for sure they'd hold this off, because it was like, okay, last week, Regal versus Lashley with the, if Lashley wins...
You figured he'd have to beat the two...
Yeah, and then he didn't even beat Regal. He won by count out.
Yes.
Or whatever the fucking stupid finish was. And I thought, okay, well, they got to redo this or something. They got to drag this out a little. Nope, they just did it. So, but I guess it's a deal where when SmackDown does not have a pay-per-view, they put on their big pay-per-view match just on free TV every 3 or 4 weeks. So
yeah,
this was it.
I guess. Seems odd. I don't want to see this feud end.
Well, it'll be they'll probably do some more wacky stuff. He may face one of the other guys at the pay-per-view, but Batista's coming back.
Yes.
So he'll be in the main event of the next pay-per-view, probably Mark Henry. And Great American Bash, I presume, so that will be that. But good show. Nothing horrible, nothing like that, but just too much wrestling as usual. But I don't really remember a whole lot about it. This is what happens when you watch 84 TV shows in 6 days.
They all run together.
You need profuse notes. And even then, you forget much of the stuff. I remember there was something with the Indians. It was Tatanka versus the Great Khali. These two Indians don't like each other, and it made me very, very sad. The Great Khali basically screamed at him, beat him up, and then crossed his arms over his chest and stuck his tongue out and said that. He wants The Undertaker, basically. I just wanted an excuse to play some drops from the Great Khali.
I would just love to know why they keep saying, where's Undertaker? Only Undertaker can stop this man. And the last time we saw Undertaker fight Khali, he got killed.
He did. Hey, it's fine. They're making a new Andre the Giant here.
Sure.
Out of The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Finlay faced Gunnar Scott. It was fine. The highlight again was the midget. Would you like to tell the story about the midget last night, Vince?
Well, we went to see a Pinnacle Wrestling show last night featuring young Caden Matthews, who most of you will know from his squash match Rikuto against Fit Finlay, wherein afterwards he was attacked by a midget. Well, we went to this the Pinnacle show, and there are two fans. I call them the super fans. They go to every Pinnacle show, and they hate everyone. And I include the referees and the ring announcer.
That's not true. They're very passionate fans. They're people that they really love, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. There are some fans that are smart fans, and they love who the smart fans would love, and they hate who the smart fans would hate. Mm-hmm. These guys love certain guys.
And it's not even the heels and faces.
No, and it's not even good workers and bad workers. It's completely random. But go on.
Well, as it turns out, they hate Caden. So as soon as they saw him coming out the entranceway, they got really excited, and they began shuffling through their bag of props.
I actually hate to interrupt you again, but they're actually Caden's friends.
Oh.
They were all hanging out with him at the concession stand afterwards, but go on.
That makes it much less funny. But anyway, so they went through digging through their bag of stuff, and
it's still funny.
They pulled out, for the first thing they pulled out was a giant picture of Caden's face. They had this thing blown up. It was probably 18 by 12 inches, this enormous picture of Caden's face. And
black and white.
Black and white, a gritty picture, and on an expensive board, like thick post board or something. It wasn't like on construction paper. They spent time and money getting this gag ready. So they're holding up these pictures of Caden's face, and Caden circling around, high-fiving the fans, and he goes around to one side, and then the other, and he finally gets to their side, and they hold up these pictures of his own face, and he looked at them blankly, and then they pulled that picture away, and they had pictures of the same size and quality of the midget.
In color.
And they thrust
just the head, by the way.
Just the head of the midget.
Just the midget's head. And I don't know where you find a 18 by 18 photograph of the midget's head.
they pulled it off. And they thrust the picture of the midget head at Caden and shook it back and forth and laughed at him and proceeded for the next 20 minutes to insinuate that Caden was afraid of the midget.
They first they just held the picture up over their head and they danced around with it and whatever, and then
constantly calling Caden.
And then one of the fans was like, "Oh, I'm doing this wrong." He got on his knees and did it because of course the midget's short. This wasn't working, so he got a little a pen or something like that, and he cut the eyes and the nose out, and he put it up to his face, so it was now a mask of the midget.
Yes.
And he got on his knees and he was jumping around, and believe me, this was so far and away the highlight of this match. The people will never, ever forget this as long as they live. These fans were dying of laughter. And so, I don't even know.
Finally,
they were wrestling.
It was
Seth Knight.
Caden and Aaron Bolo versus Seth Knight and Nelson Creed. That's
right.
Something.
And they were trying to get the heels, which would be Seth and Nelson, to use this picture of the midget, which Seth Knight finally did, much to their delight. You've never seen men more than, they were stamping their feet in, like little children when they stamp their feet in excitement. That's what these grown men were doing. Grown men that are bald with long goatees tied with rubber bands, stamping their feet like children jumping up and down. So finally, there was a security guard there.
I forgot about a security guard.
This man...
I saw this guy and immediately thought, this has to be a plant. He's getting involved in the show somehow. This was every horrible sketch comedy mall security guard you ever saw in your life.
I would go further. This was beyond the worst parody of a security guard you've ever seen. He was fat only in the midsection. He had the most skinny shoulders, the most skinny legs and arms and ankles, and this gigantic fat stomach and ass. And
he's walking around wearing gloves with his billy club hanging off his belt.
Yep.
He had.
He stood there with his chest pumped out and his hands on his hips.
Yep. And he had his big, thick mustache and the thick aviator sunglasses.
And Buddy Wayne came out to manage a certain team, and I just remember him jumping on the apron, stopping, looking over at us, coming over and saying something to the effect of, "Watch out for the security guard, because this man means business." So eventually, after they were throwing this picture of the midget back and forth, the security guard decided, no more bullshit. He was going to put his foot down. So the security guard just hobbles over to the excited fans. There were the two fans and their friends. There were about 5 there. There was
half dozen or so.
Two girls, another dude, and just a very.
There was
It was a large woman.
There was a person there who, if you've ever seen the Weird Al Yankovic video for Fat, if Al had shaved, this would have looked exactly like him.
She was big, and in fact, she was bigger than Skag Rollins.
Yes.
And the fans were pointing this out. And I don't know how this was supposed to be an insult to Skag, that this woman was bigger than him, but somehow it was. But anyway, so the security guard comes over, and before he even said a word, the fan with the midget sign screamed something to the effect of, "No, go away."
He turned and shouted and cut a loud, profane promo on this guy.
On the security guard.
On the security guard in front of everyone.
And the security guard...
Get the fuck out of my way. No fucking way. Go home.
The security guard stood there and looked at him. And they sort of... And then the other fan joined in and was like, "No, just leave." And
the audience, by the way, was not on the security guard side.
To make a long story short, the security guard eventually just left.
He's probably still crying.
They ran him off. He went to quell a situation, and he was sent back by the rioters. And he went back to his position, and he put his hands on his hips, and he puffed out his chest, and he twirled his little mustache, and he stood there all night.
Guarding Everett.
Guarding the Everett fucking armory.
Standing guard over his city, protecting it from trouble.
Oh, Jesus.
What a goof.
That was the best show of all time last night.
In hindsight, it was.
It was, I guess we might as well talk about Pinnacle real quick.
Why not?
First half of the show was usual Pinnacle, average indie stuff, nothing too spectacular. Main event, God bless Twist. I will say that. But Twist has got a long ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
And TJ Wilson had a very good match with this. This was the epitome of a one-man show.
Oh, God, yes.
I mean, this was...
This was the best demonstration of one man wrestling himself that I've ever actually seen in person.
TJ Wilson may be better than Harry Smith.
Yeah.
And we don't really know because most of the Harry Smith we saw was with TJ Wilson.
Or Davey Richards.
Sure. So that's sort of a skewed sort of deal. But tomorrow we are going, or tonight, or today, or whatever, whenever you listen to this, we are going to Pinnacle to watch TJ Wilson and Davey Richards. And I am more excited than that than anything else of this whole week.
I fully expect Davey Richards and TJ Wilson to be better than anything on Vengeance.
It may be the best indie match we ever see, because I suspect it's probably going to be better than Harry and Davey Richards.
I know this. I've seen Harry wrestle, I don't know, half a dozen times. I've seen Davey wrestle half a dozen times, and most of the time, Davey's matches were better than Harry's.
And TJ...
And I've seen TJ wrestle not quite as much.
But he had a tremendous match last night with a mannequin.
Yeah, with...
This, I mean, I can't even... It sounds like such a cliche, and I realize we do commentary for Pinnacle DVDs, and it sounds like a plug, but it's not, because the rate we're going, we may not have a DVD that's completed for about 4 years, but TJ Wilson... It was the stereotypical, he had a great match with a broomstick.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not saying anything, I don't want to run down Twist or anything like that. He's a young guy, but, he was trained by Jack Evans probably about a year ago, and he does flips.
That is the extent of it.
And good flips, sure, but that's mostly the deal. And by God, TJ had TJ looked so... Everybody.
This is what carrying means.
Buddy was in awe. We were just all in awe of this man.
And And Buddy Wayne does not impress easy.
No, Buddy
Wayne's seen thousands and thousands of matches, and when they suck, he tells you they suck.
Yes.
This match did not suck. We were walking in the car, and he said, that was like Ric Flair and El Gigante. And I said, except Twist isn't even tall. Somebody says, you're right. That was just Ric Flair versus L.
Yes. This was, that was some good stuff. But
TJ Wilson's the man.
We'll give you a Pinnacle report tomorrow. But very quickly, the top 2 matches on SmackDown, since I'm ready to wrap this thing up. Booker T faced Blaster Lashley. That was a moment of...
I didn't cut you off, though.
You were thinking about it. I know your brain works, Vince.
Actually, that time I wasn't even paying attention.
Good. It's Booker T and Blaster Lashley yet again. I'm now starting to remember this show. This show was a thumbs in the middle show. They had 2 matches that were long, the Booker T Lashley match and the Mark Henry Rey Mysterio match. 2 matches sort of in a row. I don't count the match with the fucking dude that does the things. Kennedy. I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. I am so cold on Ken Kennedy. You know, it's... A lot of people are like, oh, he's so funny. Oh, I love his ring intros. I don't see it.
Your exact words tonight were, when is this fucking gimmick going to end?
Yeah, it's like, okay, every week he comes out, he does a ring intro, he beats a man, Tony Chimmel announces him the winner, he gets mad. Tony Chimmel does it again.
Yeah.
3 weeks now. I mean, is this ever going to end? He's really not that great a worker. He's not particularly funny. And I've seen his ring intro once, and I don't need to ever see it again, really. I'm very cold on this man right now.
That's apparent.
If somebody would like to tell me otherwise, tell me the great things about Ken Kennedy, go for it. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
And I will have an open mind about it. But I don't know what you could tell me. And hey, don't say, oh, you got to see Ken Kennedy. No, how I have.
Believe us.
I've seen Ken Kennedy since day one. And so I say I'm not nearly as high on him as Paul Heyman, for example.
Yeah.
He's a guy right now. But anyway, the 2 matches I was just talking about, 2 long matches that ended in a cheap DQ. One on a show is one thing. 2 long matches, 2 cheap DQs. Not especially when Raw has been just one DQ after another. Have some fucking finishes.
Well, the only thing I would say is that the Booker T match was a cheap DQ. The Ray and Mark Henry one, since they played it off as a tasteful, for once, tribute to Eddie Guerrero and they did the lying, cheating, stealing thing, that one didn't bother me nearly as much.
Bothered me because it followed the other one.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I think it's part of the thing. I'm not sick of Blaster Lashley and Finlay yet because, or whoever he wrestled tonight. Booker T.
The King.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
But if it were not these 2 men, I'd be like, I've seen this match 8 times in the last 8 weeks, and we're going to see it again next week.
Mm-hmm.
I realize you're adding a stipulation in the cage, but
still the same 2 dudes.
Once the babyface beats the heel clean, do I really need to see it 2 more times?
Especially in the manner...
I mean,
he didn't hit a roll-up out of nowhere and get a lucky win.
No, he
hit his finisher and pinned him in the middle of the ring.
1, 2, 3 last week, and now we've got to see 2 more weeks of it.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
And so they're trying to salvage it now by doing a DQ finish to build up to a cage match.
I don't know.
Not working.
Very strange.
Ray and Henry, it's just there's something about going such a length of time and then giving a cheap finish. If this had gone 2 minutes with a cheap finish, I think I'd have been fine with it.
Yeah.
But to devote 20 minutes of my life to a match and then just a shitty finish. It bothered me way more with Booker T, I will say that. The Booker T Lashley match, because that was just... Well... And that was real dumb and cheap.
Well, the big problem there was doing the clean pin last week, because I don't know what else they could have done.
Yeah.
So this week, they booked themselves into a corner. But yeah, I'm a little frightened that Mark Henry's going to main event a pay-per-view coming up.
Mark Henry's going to win the belt.
Really?
I don't know that for certain, but
it's him or Booker.
I would bet that he's winning the belt because obviously the idea for SummerSlam is Batista getting the belt back, and he ain't getting it back from Ray.
Right.
And Booker T appears to be busy right now. Even if the cage match next week is the blow-off, we still seem to have this deal with Regal's in the mix and Finlay's in the mix, and I don't really... And plus, this match did not have a clean finish. Ray did not beat Mark Henry.
Right.
It was more bullshit. So Ray and Henry is going to continue. And, it makes sense for Mark Henry, especially if you look at the way he's been booked, that they're actually going to put the title on him for a short period of time, and then Batista's going to beat him and win the belt back. And really, I will say this. I love Mark Henry's promos.
Yes.
Mark Henry did a promo this evening on Smackdown that was really fantastic. I loved that promo.
That was awesome.
In the ring, he's just Mark Henry. He'll always be sexual chocolate to me. It doesn't matter how hard you push him. He's just still that guy that's just not that good and still looks the same as he did in 1996. With that said, they've pushed him hard enough that I won't be insulted if he wins the title. 6 months ago, I would have been appalled.
Yeah.
Now, it's just like they've tried. They've done enough where I don't think it would be disastrous to put the belt on him for the short term, and I think they're going to.
Yeah, you may be right. I don't know. He's Mark Henry. What can you say? He's improved to the point now where I don't dread his matches anymore. I don't look forward to him. But again, he's gonna drop the belt to Big Dave, who I'm not a big fan of either. Really, better than Mark Henry, I guess.
You're not a fan of Big Dave?
I was thinking about this with him coming back. Just thinking about the whole thing. He and Cena won their belts in the same day. And we're on top for so long together, and there was this giant Cena backlash. I think it's mostly because of the gimmick, but a lot of it was because he's not the best worker in the world. Meanwhile, everyone just loved Big Dave, and I got to the point where you know what? Cena's better than him.
Well, I don't think the backlash with Cena was all the. It wasn't all the gimmick. There were many, many different factors, and
part of it was Cena was wrestling guys like Jericho and Angle who were clearly better than him, whereas Dave was wrestling JBL and Hunter, who everyone was sick of.
And it's also because there's a big difference between Cena and Batista in that their perceived size. Batista is seen as this giant monster, and he works a giant monster style. And people have they're more willing to forgive a big guy doing a basic style than a guy Cena size. Because all the other guys Cena size are so much better than Cena, and all the guys Big Dave size
are not so much better.
Are not so much better than Batista.
They're Mark Henry and Gene Snitsky.
Sure. So, and plus, Cena, he has a personality that you can find grating, and obviously a lot of people do. Not so much.
We were not watching Conan O'Brien last night.
Well, no, if you look at his promos, there was a period after he won the belt where you could see how this would kind of grate on people, and clearly it did, based on the backlash.
Yes.
Batista's he's a big guy, and he's sort of quiet, and he just says, I'm going to kick your ass. Wears his sunglasses, shaves his head. He's just a big dude and strong. Totally different, just two totally different personalities. So I can understand the backlash for one and the backlash. I have absolutely no problem with Dave. None. They're far worse.
They are from Mark Henry.
Mark Henry.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
And then finally we watched Smackdown, and it was a fine show.
Yes, definite thumbs up show.
Good wrestling, some good promos. Mark Henry did a good promo, some good matches. Gregory Helms and Super Crazy was good. Nothing really to it.
There's something so odd about JBL as the heel announcer pimping up Gregory Helms. Maybe he really thinks he's good, but hearing JBL talk about what a great champion Gregory Helms is just sounds weird.
Yeah, they brought up the fact that if Gregory Helms holds the belt for 3 more weeks, he is the longest reigning Cruiserweight champion in history.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
How can that be?
Let's see, he won it at the Rumble, I think.
They were throwing out facts throughout this show.
Yeah.
And they threw out so many facts that it was like, eventually I just took everything at face value. It's like, okay, maybe, I'm not going to look it up. Maybe he has the longest reigning. JBL said that Booker T's first ever pay-per-view match was in a cage.
Yes.
A lot of other just weird facts, and I couldn't figure out if they're actual legit facts. Who would be doing this research is my question.
Michael Cole? I don't know.
No. He's an idiot. JBL, maybe? I don't know. But I will say that JBL was 18 million times better.
He was awesome, actually, this whole show. Calling it, A, like every match was a real sport, and B, like it mattered who won and lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was...
What were we talking about before
Who
we...
cares?
I needed to take a little break there because I was just talking too much. The Pit Bulls. The Pit Bulls faced 2 jobbers. What do you think about the Pit Bulls?
the very first thing they did was they're bringing back the 1980s style promos where the guy cuts a promo in the corner of the screen during his own match, and they did a promo talking about how small they were. So I thought, well, that's odd. It's not quite the thing I would do.
It's an entire gimmick based on the old cliche about the size of the dog in the fight.
Yeah.
And that's the entire reason for this team existing.
It really is.
It's two men who are very small, and they wrestle the Chris Benoit style. We're going to try and wrestle like we're 6'5". And I loved this debut. I was totally fine with it. I thought it totally worked. The problem is the shelf life of tag teams in WWE ranges from about 6 months to about 4 days.
Yeah.
So they may just end up back on Velocity Hell because they looked so good in this match.
Well, you never know. They were talking about how they would love to see these guys versus London and Kendrick, and somebody has to wrestle London and Kendrick, don't they?
That's true. They were a great team.
I would have no problem watching London and Kendrick feud with the Pitbulls for the next 6 months.
I've never been a huge Kid Cash fan. I never really saw much in Kid Cash. He did some flying around. He acted like a prick.
I was going to say, the best part of his act was his heel promos in TNA.
Sure. But, he never lit my world on fire in any sort of way. But him and Jamie Noble here just beating the fuck out of two jobbers.
And they did.
That was great.
Sure.
I was totally fine with this. I thought this was good stuff. So that was that. And what else do we have on the show? Ashley and Crystal, their little skit.
Okay. I retract anything positive I've ever said about young Crystal Marshall.
I knew this would happen someday.
This was so awful.
You've seen the light.
She was so ugly. I don't know who did her makeup and hair, but fire that person immediately and then kill them.
Wow.
They did a catty argument about the diva search, because Ashley casually mentioned that Crystal had finished in the top 10, and Crystal said, "Hey, I finished 4th."
Never mind that's in the top 10, you stupid
Let's go watch that again.
This was the worst. This was
so dumb.
The other day I was setting the TiVo up during the middle of the afternoon, and I happened to flip through a soap opera. And I've never watched soap operas in my life. But I watched about 3 minutes of this soap opera because there's a hot chick on it,
Yeah.
And I watched about 3 minutes of it, and she could have been the hottest chick in the world, totally naked. I would have turned the channel because the acting on this show was so fantastically horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, as I was typing this up, I thought, I should say this is the worst acting I've ever seen, but I'm not sure it is.
But I watched Guiding Light today.
But it is really bad. These two were so bad. Just so bad. This is what I understand.
Crystal asking Ashley what the best part about winning the Diva Search was, and Ashley saying, having friends like you.
If I were Vince McMahon, first off, I can't even fathom such a thing. But Vince McMahon doesn't want to be a wrestling promoter. He wants to be like an entertainment mogul or whatever.
Yeah.
There's your word again.
Mm-hmm.
If I were Vince McMahon and I wanted to be an entertainment mogul or whatever, I could not bring myself to put that shit on TV every week. How can he watch that and go, this is perfectly fine programming?
People will tune in every week to see Ashley versus Crystal.
This will do.
This will do. That's what I wanted this segment to be like.
How can he think this?
I don't know.
It's so bad. As a wrestling promoter, I just scrapped the whole segment. I just was like,
oh God, yes. Well, we'll show a replay of Taz and Lawler again or something.
God. Finlay beat Matt Hardy in a final match.
Oh, this was fun.
Just great. Finlay's awesome in everything he does. His selling is great. He got the heat with an atomic drop, shit like that.
Yeah.
Everything worked.
Everything, yeah. It occurred to me here, I want to see Finlay and Matt Hardy feud for months, and then it occurred to me, I see that after every Finlay match, whoever he wrestles.
Yeah.
I want to see them wrestle again.
It's just Finlay.
Has anyone ever taken several years off after an injury and then come back in their 40s and had their career peak?
Well, Shawn Michaels, but he wasn't quite in his 40s.
That's slightly different, but
why?
He's the man. It's weird.
But why
I'm
is
happy about it.
But why is Shawn Michaels slightly different than Finlay?
Because, okay, yes, Shawn Michaels' career peaked after his injury, but his career before the injury was fine.
So was Fit Finlay.
Well, yeah, okay.
He wasn't a star, but he was fucking great, always.
I'm not talking about ability. I'm just talking about status.
I'm sure there have been many others, and we'll see them on the board. But, yes, Finlay is a very special case.
And I'm very happy he's doing it.
He has returned.
This was awesome.
Mr. Kennedy faced Brent Albright. Then Brent Albright was killed by Great Khali. It is back to Ohio Valley for him. That'll teach him to not get over in 3 weeks. Fuck.
With the name Gunner Scott.
Idiots. How dare he? Oh, well. The Vito deal, he's still wearing his dress. They had a skit with him in the grocery store, I believe, or somewhere.
He was
shopping or something like that. Yeah. Shopping for lingerie, that's what it was, because he wore it during this match and they blurred it. I'm not a big fan of Vito. I don't necessarily ever need to see him work again. But I will be fair. This is getting over.
This is working. Part of it was this crowd was awesome.
Yeah.
They were hot for everything, but that being said, they were also hot for Vito, and they liked him.
They liked him.
They cheered his dress-oriented spots.
Yes. Whenever his dress came up and exposed his ass, there were giggles and laughter. Like, oh, his ass. You know what I mean? I know what you're thinking.
I am trying not to think of anything right now.
Well, I see 48 songs being created.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the best drop ever. It hasn't even been made yet, and it's already the best drop ever. Whatever they do with that will be great. But yes.
It always sucks when you realize a drop after you've created
I know, yeah,
it. You can't go back.
Well, we could, but we don't. We're too lazy.
Don't.
But yes, the fans liked Vito. That was the point. Back on topic. The dress is working. The fucking dress is getting over. You're going to retract this one, aren't you? This will be the first time we've ever edited the show.
I'm not going to edit the show. I just want everyone to know that's how much I love everybody on the website. I am allowing myself to be humiliated for your entertainment. Oh, my God.
It was so perfect. You could not recreate that sound.
No, I couldn't. I really couldn't. And by the way, for those of you that wanted that asked for the drop of whatever noise I made the other day that was so annoying, the squeal.
Oh, God.
What was I? Oh, the whine. Okay, first off, you ever think that's being played on the show, or if you ever think that a song you create with the whine will ever be played on the show, think again. That ain't happening.
So you admit it, you annoy yourself.
Oh, God, that was a horribly annoying noise. But I didn't do it to be annoying. It was a spontaneous reaction. It's just the noise that I made at that exact moment in time. I was like, I'm going to make the most annoying... I'm going to try and break my windows in this room. I'm going to try and blow out Vince's... That was the feeling that I had at the time. And that's what came out.
Wow.
And I don't want to ever hear it again, to be honest with you.
Me neither. I don't even remember what set it up. I just remember the noise itself.
The board.
And I had to yank my headphones off.
By the way, I profusely apologize for my rant about the board the other day. I was in a foul mood that week, as everybody is well aware. I have since somewhat rested up, and I'm feeling fresh and good again. So
I do like that if you go to the website now, over on the left, it no longer says forum, it says the board.
Changed that.
Not even a tilde bang, just the board.
Yes. Because I don't necessarily think there should be a tilde bang. It should not be lowercase. It should not be properly capitalized. It's just the board. Yes, that explains everything about it, the way that it's described, I believe.
I totally agree.
The main event was Booker and Lashley in a cage. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And, we don't need to see this match again. I've seen it 94 times.
Haven't they done it 3 weeks in a row now?
Oh, God, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
It's been 3 weeks on TV following the pay-per-view match, which probably followed a bunch of TV matches.
Yeah, but I concur. It was fine. We're done.
Yeah, and I enjoy
Lashley always wins. Good.
I love Lashley. I love Booker T.
Love Booker more.
I love Booker T's lovely wife, Charmel.
We love Regal. We love Finlay.
I love Regal and Finlay. And the midget.
And the midget.
I love them all. I just don't need to see this ever again. Let's all move on with our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God we're not getting a...
I guess we should talk about Smackdown now.
Hour into the show, and it's all downhill from here. Smackdown.
What a fucking awful show this was.
This show blew. They would open with a battle royal, which sucked. Nobody cared. It was 98% dorks, and the only people that you knew had any chance of winning were Regal, Booker, and Finlay.
And if you really thought Regal, I guess maybe Finlay, but if you thought Regal was
actually really the only two were Booker and Finlay that had any chance, and I didn't even think Finlay had much of a chance.
Yes, they announced the winner was getting the title shot at Great American Bash, and really you should have known. Well, it's going to be Booker T.
I was actually looking through it, going, okay, who? For some reason,
is Kid Cash going to main event the next pay-per-view?
Well, part of me thought they were going to.
Scotty too hotty?
Part of me thought they were going to do Booker and Lashley again, so it was like he's eliminated. But apparently they've actually moved on. Booker T won, as mentioned.
So yes, Booker T, after losing for I believe 3 straight weeks, maybe more, but yes, he now gets the title shot.
The best part was Matt Hardy, Regal, and Booker were the last 3. And JBL said, and I quote, "The odds are always against Matt Hardy." And I thought, indeed they are. He was battling on the ropes with Regal, and Booker tossed them both over. And Regal is such a great man that even though Booker T eliminated him from a match where he could have won a world title shot, he still grabbed the mic and did the All Hail King Booker deal.
Yes, he's
All hail King Booker! All hail King! All hail King Booker!
I love turning this into a turntable. Really do.
He did. He initially sold shock and outrage, and he was pissed off. And then when he had a few seconds to think about it and calm down, you could see on his face it was kind of like, well, he is the king.
Yeah.
He should get the title shot, and he hailed King Booker.
It's getting to the end of the show, and I'm starting to just break down and trying to use high spots to get a pop.
Is that the whole thing?
No, that one will play later. I don't know what things are, so I click them, and all of a sudden, when I click them, it tells me how long they are.
I see.
And that one was over a minute long, and I need to just get this goddamn show on the road, so that one will be for later on. Then we had Mr. Kennedy. Oh, geez, I'm jumping way forward here. Maybe that was a sort of subliminal type deal. Then we had Sylvan come out, I guess, and talked about Quebec. That was it.
That was it.
I have nothing to add. He talked about Quebec in French.
I have nothing to add about Sylvan. I have something to add about JBL. The only thing worth watching in this program was John Bradshaw Layfield doing commentary.
He gets better by the week.
Oh,
I don't know how he can top each week. It's like every week you think this is as good as a man can get on commentary, and he gets better every week.
He is entertaining, he is funny, and he gets the matches and the characters over. He is the man. And in this one, first, he went on a tirade about how useless Canada was and how hard it is to get over the border. He said it's easy to get to the Middle East, and he says, I don't want to visit that country anyway. And there was a pause for a second or two, and then Michael Cole says, when you're right, you're right. And then seriously, about 6 seconds went by as JBL tried not to laugh, and finally just said, thank you, Michael. It was awesome. So Sylvan comes out, and he does his stupid little speech, and he speaks in French for a while, and then he leaves. And the first thing JBL says is, this guy sucks.
He said, I'd rather have a root canal. This guy sucks.
This guy sucks, and he looks a little light in the loafers.
Yes.
Which is always funny.
You did laugh awfully hard at that line, which I rewound to see what was so funny, and it was that line, and I thought, well, everyone has their own different wacky sense of humor. Yours just happens to sometimes be...
wacky.
Sure, wacky. Sure. I was going to say something like retarded.
That's fair.
Mr. Kennedy faced Super Crazy.
Speaking of retarded...
You know, we've mentioned on this show many times tonight about things. Can we just move on with our lives? Mr. Kennedy comes out. He does his deal on the mic. He has a shitty match. He does his thing on the mic. He leaves. The only difference this week was he had a longer shitty match.
Oh, my God.
An insufferably long shitty match with Super Crazy that went on forever.
There was a point...
I would like to add, by the way, this is the second time we saw Super Crazy on the show, and the second time we saw Psychosis on the show because they were both in the Battle Royal. Yes, but go on.
Yeah, Psychosis came out and Distract Crazy, and Kennedy got the win. About 40 minutes into this, Brian finally could take no more, and he left the room to do God knows what. And I swear to God, at the moment he left, Mr. Kennedy went back to about his 15th neck crank. This match sucked. This segment sucked. This show sucked.
Dude, got a lot of anger in you.
Oh, God.
Calm
I had
down.
so many better things to do. This was a beautiful Saturday, and I spent it watching this shit.
It was. It was a very sunny day.
I spent it indoors. I spent all day cleaning my kitchen, which is good because at least I got something done. And then I came over and spent all afternoon watching this horrible, horrible programming.
I was actually out doing stuff till about 3, and then I was like, I've got to go home and watch wrestling at 3 o'clock in the fucking afternoon, and I watch this shit on a beautiful 80-degree Saturday afternoon.
This is why our job sucks.
Great Khali came out, and I don't even know who he... Oh, he wrestled Tatanka. Well, could not pin Tatanka, mind you.
No.
He beat up Tatanka, gave him the tree slam or whatever, and then his music just played.
Yeah.
He couldn't even pin Tatanka.
No, there was no count, there was no bell ringing. They just played his music again.
And by the way, Tatanka's pre-match promo with Crystal.
They did Jesus Christ. They had...
I'm giving up already.
It just sucked. So you could stop and just say it sucked, but I need to describe this in some detail.
Oh, God.
It opened with Crystal talking to a sound guy or something as she was ranting about Ashley and what a bitch she was for winning the Diva contest and not giving her credit for finishing fourth and and suddenly she saw the camera and cut herself off and the sound guy got scared and ran away. And then she called in Tatanka, who was right there in full headdress. This implies Tatanka had been standing there in full headdress, waiting to cut his promo, watching this argument for perhaps 7 minutes or so. Just standing there.
Well, he was waiting for his cue.
Oh, Jesus. And then he cut his promo like nothing was going on, and it was hideously dull, and it was boring. And he talked about being afraid, but overcoming his fear, and then he went out and got killed.
It's so hot, I just took my ear things off.
You did. You are now what the hell do you call it? Headphones. Headphoneless.
I am.
I'm breaking down as well.
We're going to rush through this show. I'm not going to play any drops because I can't hear them anyway because I took the thing off. But anyway, we're going to have a Punjabi prison match, which is going to be
That sounds so naughty.
The basis for mini drops, I'm sure, down the road. But, yeah, apparently, I could be wrong, but I could have sworn Michael Cole said that this Punjabi prison match was going to take place in the jungle.
Oh, he said that. He said he would face him in the Punjabi jungle.
Why is it called the Punjabi prison match?
I don't know.
Couldn't they just call it a Punjabi jungle match?
I don't know. And I also want to know why. It's like been erased from history. The last time these two men wrestled, Khali left him laying and pinned him with one foot in his chest. No one ever mentions this. They just keep saying Undertaker needs to come back and fight him again.
Perhaps somebody watched that match with Inoki in the jungle.
The jungle fight.
No, the actual jungle fight's an MMA show. Fucking the one in the actual jungle.
The island
went
match?
Like 2 hours.
Yes,
yeah,
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
This may actually. They could do the
if
same
they do
thing.
this as a cutaway with Undertaker and Great Khali like fighting in trees.
It starts in the jungle.
Oh,
like cold open. Oh. Cold open to the jungle.
If they do this, then I am now excited for Great American Bash.
You never know. Vito beat Psychosis. This was the third time Psychosis has been on the show this evening. Also, that means the third time Super Crazy came out on this show and sucked. This show, at this point...
It sucked. It was awful. Again, the only highlight was JBL. I believe this is where they brought up the magazine references. JBL went on a tirade about internet geeks, and then Michael Cole casually mentioned that JBL was named Jerk of the Month in Smackdown magazine, at which point
That's
JBL...
when the internet geeks.
Yes, JBL turns his attention to the head of the magazine division, which I believe is Michael Cole. And you could see him in the background as the match was going on as he was cutting this promo, staring Michael Cole in the face from 2 feet away, and it was just awesome. Just running him down. This is the JBL show.
Yes.
There's nothing else on SmackDown that matters. Cut all the wrestlers.
Yes.
Bring in indie geeks and let JBL cut promos on
Don't
them.
to turn you down. I'm trying to rush through this show, and you just keep talking. How do you have the energy?
Because bad wrestling motivates me.
Fuck, dude. The Pitbulls wrestled some people. Funaki and Scotty
Yes.
Tabati.
What competition?
No heat, but I love the Pitbulls. So.
No, there was nothing wrong with this.
This was one of the shining... What did I write? I actually have the exact phrase right here that I wrote down. A solitary shining moment on this shitfest of a show.
Indeed.
And I have no better way
Nope,
right
I can't
now.
top that.
But like we mentioned earlier, this was when we really started switching over to the HD channel. We were watching a show on the Inuit and Caribou, actually. Far superior to this SmackDown
It started,
show.
we were flipping over just during commercials, and finally got to the point where it was just like, you know what? I would rather watch the Caribou than SmackDown.
I had that thought the moment I saw Caribou on the show. I was like, why do I have to go back and watch SmackDown? Not to mention the fact that this was the beginning of 15 minutes of nothing. Nothing. Video packages, Raw Rebound, preview for the pay-per-view, ring entrances, 15 minutes of nothing. And it was also during this point that I thought, I know why this show's tanking.
Who would watch this crap?
Because really, if I did not have to do this for a living, and I did not have to recap this show for you lovely people, I'm doing this for you, I want you all to know, I wouldn't watch this show.
In 100 years, I would not have stayed home this Saturday afternoon and watched Smackdown.
Why would I have watched this show today? I've noticed there's nothing intriguing. The only
to
thing I
Big
would have
Dave?
done, I would have recorded it to watch Big Dave's return.
I don't think I would have even done that.
I would have done that. But that's all.
No,
that's the only thing.
No, if this in 99 other dimensions today I went out and did something fun.
Yes.
But I am trapped in this one where I had to watch this garbage. And yes, we watched the Inuits. We watched them build an igloo. It was actually Nanook of the North's grandson, or so he claimed.
Yes, the legit Nanook of the North.
Yes, and he talked about his grandfather and all he had learned from him and his father. They built an igloo and they went spearfishing for seals.
Yeah,
and,
Nanook-cito.
Yes, Nanook-cito. And then they talked about the caribou and their migration.
Okay, shut the hell up. I'm finishing this show.
All right, fine.
Final two matches were Bobby Lashley and the Hurricane in a champion versus champion match. This was the main event of the SmackDown show.
Mm-hmm.
Lashley sold way too much and won rapidly.
Yeah.
I have nothing more to say.
Just that Lashley beat Booker T about 18 times in a row and then was not in the Battle Royal to get the title shot.
Yeah, that was another good one. And, you know, it's like right before this match, they made the big announcement that, what's that guy's name, the Hurricane?
Gregory Helms?
Gregory Helms was now the longest reigning cruiserweight champion of all time. And he came out and promptly lost. It's like, who is this that hard?
Yeah, apparently
maybe
yes.
it is. Maybe it is, but I don't really think so. The main event of the show, like I said, was that, and then out came Mark Henry, and actually this was backstage. Mark Henry said if Batista wanted to come back, fine, but he'd retire him again or whatever. Finally, Big Dave returned. He is not as big as he used to be. He is big. He is cut. He does not have that look of, what's the word they use?
Swollen?
Shrink wrap.
I see.
He isn't shrink wrapped. He doesn't have, what's that stuff you wrap food in?
Shrink wrap.
No, there's another name.
Plastic wrap. Saran wrap?
Saran wrap over chicken. He doesn't have that look about him. Basically, he looks more healthy. Not necessarily well, but healthy.
Sure.
So he came out, and everybody went ape shit and that sort of thing. He challenged Mark Henry. Mark Henry ran down. Ray jumped Mark Henry from behind. Mark Henry promptly killed young Ray Jr., and then Batista grabbed Mark Henry, made the save, destroyed Henry, left him laying, beat him with chair shots, and the security finally came out and broke it up. Great return for Big Dave. It was exactly how it should have been done. Obviously, for those of you that have not figured it out yet, all these weeks of Mark Henry destroying Ray Jr. and Chavo, it had nothing to do with Ray and Chavo. It had to do with setting up the return of Big Dave to be their savior. So they're geeks.
They are, in fact, geeks. They are the two little kids who are now going to get saved because Big Brother's home.
That's right. Big Brother's home, even though the little brother's the champion, and we're supposed to give a rat's ass about him. But
and by the way, Big Dave beat the hell out of Big Mark with these chair shots, just killed the fucker.
Yeah.
And so he's got his revenge now, so don't bother buying the pay-per-view.
Well, no.
This show was so dumb.
I didn't actually look at it that way because he did use a lot of gimmicks to beat up Mark Henry. So I think people are going to pay for the match because there's still 3 weeks, and you know Mark Henry's going to destroy Batista for 2 straight weeks after this.
Yeah, maybe.
But when Batista came back, he had to do this. If Batista would have come back and been beaten up,
I agree. He had to. Oh, he's not. He should not have been beaten up. But he should have killed someone else. He should have killed basically everyone except Mark Henry. But and maybe I was just in a bad mood because I had just watched 2 hours of the show.
Mood.
But was the cherry on top of a shitty day.
It's like any wrestling match. When the match starts, the babyface shines for a little bit, and then the bad guy gets the heat. It's all this is. It's
just 4 weeks of it instead of 2.
Big Dave came back, and he destroyed Mark Henry. Everybody went crazy. Big Dave's back, and then Henry gets the heat next week. A couple of weeks of beating Batista. This is all theoretical, of course, because they'll probably fuck it up. But a couple of weeks of beating the hell out of him, and then you pay to see Batista get his revenge in the ring.
Hopefully they'll do that.
But
this show sucked. Do not watch the replay. Erase it from your TiVos. Do not watch it immediately.
I cannot give this show an all thumbs down because the main event angle is going to make a little bit of money. It's not going to be a blow-away pay-per-view or anything like that, but SmackDown, as noted, was a shitty show. Opened up with Teddy Long explaining that Mark Henry was out of commission. and that there was going to be a replacement. He was about to announce a replacement when Ken Kennedy came out and asked for the match. Then Big Dave came out and accepted, and we never found out who the replacement was going to be. It is now a mystery.
Sucks to be that guy.
And I would like to note that I will say right now as my prediction, Ken Kennedy versus Batista lasts 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I predict no longer than 4 minutes, especially after tonight, because this was Ken Kennedy's big chance to step up, and Jesus Christ did he drop the ball. He dropped the ball in a spike, and it popped and deflated. That's what happened here tonight.
Wow.
What was there anything of anything? Was there anything in this of any value?
I don't know what more you expected Ken Kennedy to do.
Dude, I have no desire to see it for free, much less pay for it.
I see.
He came out and he just said, "I want this match. Everyone's talking about me." And as he's saying that, you wonder who and why would they talk about you. And he just made his challenge and then went away. It was the most just nothing I've ever seen. Thumbs down to Ken Kennedy.
All right.
He's out of my life. He's
a washed-up piece of crap?
He is a washed-up piece of crap, and he is out of my life.
You're out of my life, you washed-up piece of crap. Yeah.
That's how I feel about this Ken Kennedy segment right here. Brian Kendrick faced Kid Cash in a match that should have been better, but it bored me. I don't know why. It just was boring. There were boring chants, and Kendrick made a short comeback, which was about 1% of the total time of this match. He was beaten for 99% of this match and then pinned.
Yes.
So I presume they're retaining the titles on Sunday. If not, they're just fucked. But boring. Then we had a deal with Teddy and Booker T. Booker wanted a shot at Ray. Teddy Long, being a good promoter, was like, that's on pay-per-view. We're not giving that away for free. And Booker basically... Actually, Teddy said he'd think about it eventually. And then he asked Ray, and Ray said fine, so he booked it. So Teddy is a shitty promoter, a shitty GM, and a shitty booker. So that was... and Chavo was very upset about that whole thing, but blah, blah. Tori Ashley versus Michelle McCool and Crystal. And I would just like to say that on today... July 21st, 2006, I have, in fact, turned the corner on Crystal.
You like her again now.
She was so hot, and she's got so much of a clue, and she was wearing quite the little outfit, and I fell in love.
I am so with you on point number 3.
I have said this before, that I'm a fickle man. I readily admit that. And I will state right now, she is currently, at this moment, my favorite diva. Think about that.
Wow.
Who else is there?
I don't know.
But whore Maria? Nobody left.
That's a significant U-turn for you.
It is a very... And I was ready to hate this. I was ready to hate this because WWE Mobile this afternoon sent out a message. And keep in mind, they send very few messages out. Every now and then you'll get one. But the message was... Crystal promises that she and Michelle will unveil the hottest wrestling gear in SmackDown history in their tag team match tonight on SmackDown, which, by the way, is the most poorly written text message I've ever heard. But
maybe Miz wrote it.
In history, the hottest outfit in the history of SmackDown. So I had to see this. I've seen hotter.
This was hot.
I believe Sable once came out with just paint on her breasts.
Yeah, that happened.
But suffice to say, Crystal was a fine young lass this evening of just... I have no more words. She has now ascended the mountain.
Well, welcome to the bandwagon.
She has reached the peak. I still don't appreciate you appreciating her. I still feel that you are a fool. But, yeah.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Let me explain why. Because she ascended the mountain tonight because she actually did look extraordinarily hot and she worked. You liked her back when she didn't look that special and was cutting shitty interviews and was useless.
So the answer cannot be that I saw something in her that you were not wise enough to see.
No, absolutely not.
The answer cannot be that you overlooked her in your quick dismissal.
No.
No, the answer is she suddenly changed.
She did change.
I see.
And you can ask.
Fascinating.
This will be a poll that you can put on the board, and you know you'll lose this one. Did Crystal this evening, everybody, did she turn a corner tonight, or has she just always been just the hottest diva around, and I just suddenly recognized it?
Oh, I guarantee you I will win this poll.
No, everybody...
Yes, Crystal has always been this hot.
Nope, everybody else is going to everyone else realized tonight, holy shit, she's real hot, and she can go. Just mark my words, this will be another poll that you'll be humbled in.
When was the last time I was humbled in a poll?
The poll about whether the TNA pay-per-view was a thumbs in the middle or a thumbs down show. An overwhelming majority did not pick thumbs down.
What was the poll that I won like 3-1?
Oh, the stupid one about was that a Brent moment?
Yes.
Oh, wow. You really humbled me in that poll. A poll that didn't mean jack shit.
Oh, what the hell? What makes that poll any less meaningful than a TNA pay-per-view?
Because I won that one.
Ah, okay. Well, I can at least appreciate your worldview there.
That's right. So, anyway, Finlay faced Lashley for the U.S. title in a rematch. It was a mediocre Finlay match, which means it was better than nearly every other match you'll ever see. But with that said, I expected better from Finlay and Lashley, and it was just a long match. I mean, Finlay was really good, but the only time that Lashley had that killer instinct, I believe I wrote about this last week, you never feel Lashley's going to murder you, or he would murder you unrepentantly. He would just kill you. Mm-hmm. Never feel that way. There was a moment at the beginning of this match where he just decided to go all amateur on Finlay, and he took him down and humbled him on the mat.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, he'd kill everyone. And it was only for a brief moment, though. The rest of the time, he was young Bobby Lashley, the young green upstart who is working with the good guys and all this other bullshit. He needs that more of those moments where you fear. He doesn't have that right now.
They need to put him in there with someone. I was going to say Stevie Richards. I guess he's not on the show anymore. But just someone, and to say, Bobby, you have 90 seconds.
They used to
kill this fucker.
Look at when he first started getting over. It was when he was doing in there and going those squash matches and just murdering everyone.
Remember that one throw he did in Little Guido?
Yes.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah,
now he's Samoa Joe in TNA.
Yep.
And that's bad.
They needed more squash matches.
So then we had the Diva Surge time, and it was the dance-off. And I can say that Erica will be eliminated on Monday without question. She was the most generic blonde left. The last generic blonde got eliminated, so she's the now remaining generic blonde. She will be eliminated immediately. She was also by far the worst dancer, worse than Kelly Kelly.
Oh, God, yes.
If you can even fathom such a thing. She made Kelly Kelly look like some famous dancer. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Stacy Keibler.
Stacy fucking Keibler. She made her look like Stacy Keibler. The best dancer was Layla.
By far.
Of course, it's her fucking job. She
Yes.
better be the best dancer.
It should be noted, Layla was by far and away the best dancer, and yet did not win the fan appreciation.
No,
So she is definitely fucked.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I will predict who will be eliminated when.
Okay.
The next person eliminated is going to be Erica. After that, it will be JT Titty. After that, it will be, believe it or not, Maurice. After that, it will be Layla. After that, it will be, who's left?
Rebecca.
The last two are going to be Milena. Oh, Rebecca DiPietro.
Milena, Rebecca, and Jen.
Milena will probably be... Jen's gone.
Okay.
Somewhere. She may have just been gone tonight, for all I know. The last three are going to be Milena, Rebecca, and... Rebecca? Milena... There's one more that I had. I wrote it down here at the beginning. Oh, I thought it was going to be Maurice, but I already eliminated her. Rebecca and Milena will be the last two.
Okay.
And I think Rebecca's going to take it. Milena won tonight because she's Hispanic, which is feather in her cap.
That helped.
Particularly on SmackDown.
In Corpus Christi, yes.
Sure. So she won this particular evening, but I think she's going to be a sleeper. She's going to go very, very far. I thought Maurice was going to take it, but Maurice is a Stacy Keibler clone and an Ashley clone, and I don't think she's going to make it.
She's like a defective clone. She's not as hot as they are.
Yes.
Yeah. The only one I disagree with there is I think JT may do better than that.
No, she won't, because she's nervous. She just has no presence out there whatsoever. Rebecca DiPietro will win. That's my prediction.
I would be totally fine with
that.
And
I think that I would actually be stunned if she were eliminated anytime soon and did not win this whole contest. But this just sucked.
Long story short.
We need fucked up girls and strippers in this Diva Search this year because these chicks are just...
We need the return of the cum-guzzling gutter sluts.
Thank you for providing 8,000 drops for the future, Vince. We need strippers and fucked up girls. We've got too many. We've got teachers here. We've got professional dancers. They're all boring. It's a Diva Search in pro wrestling. We need just craziness. And this ain't it. This is the most vanilla batch of mannequins we've ever had. Super Crazy and Psychosis had a match no one gave a shit about, which is amazing since they were both on 3 segments 2 weeks ago. Didn't do a goddamn thing for them. And the main event was Ray versus Booker T. And for the second week in a row, Ray got less time than the Big Show to have a main event. And it was all right. Nothing special. The last few minutes were good. Chavo ended up tripping up Booker, and then Ray pinned him. So Ray's losing the belt Sunday without question.
That pretty much put the nail in the coffin.
For those of you wondering.
That Super Crazy Psychosis match was so boring.
Yeah.
It just went on and on and on. It may have been longer than Ray's match. And it sucked.
Yeah, it was boring. So, well, SmackDown. We're only an hour into the show.
Fortunately, there's not much to say about SmackDown. They redid a bunch of matches from
I
the
like
Bash.
how you said that and then did not say anything
Let's
else.
see evidence. Exhibit A. They redid a bunch of matches from the Bash. A lot of them the same finish, actually. In fact, all 3 of them had the same finish, now that I think about it. And what was not on the Bash was pretty boring.
Well, if you consider the same finish, Batista and Ken Kennedy, just a shitty finish, then you're correct. But technically, they were different finishes. The pay-per-view was a DQ. This was a count out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But Ken Kennedy did win. I don't know why. This match was even worse than the Bash, if that's even possible. Boring match. Ken Kennedy bores me. Can't take a backdrop. And, yeah. This feud must continue for completely inexplicable reasons. Vito beat Simon Dean. Boring. Used his wacky hold. People weren't into it as much. I think the gimmick has run its course. They were into it last week, and now there were ass shots everywhere, and people were just like, there's his ass. No excitement whatsoever. Mike The Miz interviewed Ray, who said the only thing on his mind tonight was his world title rematch against whoever the champion is, Booker T. Indian faced a Quebecer in a match so shitty that it was memorable.
Okay, this was not on the Bash. The highlight of this match was when it went too long and Brian could take no more and screamed, "Pin the fucking Indian," which I think is the next great FRW shirt.
I am a huge fan of the Native Americans, as Vince is well aware, but for some reason, this Indian on SmackDown...
Well, there was a moment where they were suggesting the storyline was after Sylvan suggested that Tatanka lived on a reservation last week, Tatanka got mad. He said, look at this man. He's walking around in animal skins, face paint, and a feathered headdress.
Full war gear.
Is it really that outrageous to suggest he may have residence on a reservation somewhere? Is that too wild a claim to make?
In fact, it is.
I guess it is.
Michael Cole was also appalled, which, I don't know. Can they not just get, like, I don't know. Even JBL was ranting about the absurdity of this. He was like, we came over here, we stole their land, we ravaged their women. What the hell are they so mad about? And I was like, that sums up this whole segment right here. It's just absurdity. If I were Native American, I would not support Tatanka in any way. I would
ashamed of him.
I would disown myself from the Lakota tribe or something of that nature, just because I don't know. I just don't know. There's something about the Indian. He's in attempting to I guess pay homage to his people. He has made himself into a goofy cartoon.
Yep.
I think that's what it is. I mean, it's not even like the Mexicools as a Mexican. I don't even think are as absurd for some reason. At least you look at them and you're like, those are 2 Mexicans right there. You don't necessarily think that when you look at Tatanka. Jillian faced Michelle McCool in a shitty match. I really have nothing to add to this one.
The highlight of this was
the Frenchman won, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Sullivan won. The highlight of the women's match was that Ashley spent the first half of the match on the apron before she realized, hey, I'm not supposed to be up here.
Yeah, she just stood there
and then tried to sneak down.
Fucking goofball. Queen Charmel invited everyone to the big coronation, which was a grand coronation. And prior to that, they had an interview with Chavo Guerrero. They set up a bunch of lights. They set up a mic. They were going to interview him, and then the interview began, and he said, I'll be here next week to discuss this. And I thought, sucks to be the production crew that went to all that trouble, and that was the whole speech. He couldn't just say that before everything set everybody up.
He couldn't just give a press release?
Ham, next week I'll talk. No, he had him set everything up, and then that was his big speech. So then it was time for the coronation, which was great. Flowers, little girl dropping flowers, balloons.
Trumpets.
Horse-drawn carriage.
That was the highlight.
Dandies, whole 9 yards. And, of course, Ray ran in and stomped a mud hole in him. Goddamn little Mexican. It was unacceptable. This coronation could have gone on all night, and I could have watched it for 3 hours. But ruined it. Very disrespectful little bugger. So that was the main event for later on. Finlay faced Regal in a match that I thought was better than their pay-per-view match. It was shorter, but just everything was great. The people were more into it this time.
I think a big part of it was the people were not disappointed Lashley was not there.
Yeah.
But yeah, one way or another, they were way more into it. And yeah, this was good stuff.
Well, they also had the Regal getting the heat on Finlay, and the people are into Finlay, so when he fought back, they sort of started to get into it, and they popped big when he won since the midget interfered. So the babyface turn of Finlay is going to be very easy.
Yes.
And so there you go. Easier than the Jeff Jarrett babyface turn, I would suspect. But Divas played musical chairs. No Ric Flair.
This is definitely not the Ric Flair segment.
JT Titty won. And I believe it was a shoot. Her and Rebecca were the last two. JT Titty actually jumped the gun and sat down before the music stopped, but as soon as she sat down, it stopped, and she was allowed to win. So it was a screw job. And Rebecca was so upset that she shoved JT Titty down. JT Titty posted on her arm and goddamn near broke it, but thankfully did not. And then Rebecca picked up the chair as if to assault Mrs. Titty with it. And the referees broke that up.
The Miz made the save.
Miz made the save. He was like, you cannot strike her with that metal chair. And thumbs down.
Yeah.
In fact, where's my drop about we need strippers and fucked up chicks? I don't know where it's at. So I just gave it to you right there, kids. Or just watch gay porn.
That is not the drop you're looking for.
That was not, in fact.
That was the opposite of the drop you're looking for. The return of the cum-guzzling gutter sluts.
That also...
It's closer.
Not the one that I was
much
looking.
Closer.
I just wrote Rochelia so hard.
Whoa, what?
I did.
Wow.
Should have seen the...
Tiger.
Should have seen the Spike TV special on the women.
I did notice that was on your TiVo.
Oh, yeah. The first 10 minutes was all Rochelle, and I shut it off immediately afterwards. I did not need to see Gail Kim and your favorite redhead, who is looking...
Christy was awfully haggard on TNA this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope it was just poor lighting.
She is very drawn out, very... just didn't look too hot, so... yeah.
That was the last great trip I had, was watching Mick Foley say yeah.
Jeez. Then we had Booker and... Oh, I'm sorry. I would be remiss if we did not speak of the debut of Sylvester Terkay and Elijah Burke. I would like to give a giant... Yeah.
You're out of my life, you washed up piece of crap! Yeah.
Anyway... Gotta give a big thumbs up to the debut of Mr. Elijah Burke, who is a fantastic fucking promo.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they won't screw this up, because I could listen to Elijah Burke cut promos for 2 hours every single day. Fantastic. Sylvester Terkay, on the other hand, not the best debut. His match, when he was just doing pro wrestling in Tacoma, was 8 million times better. This match, he is a former MMA fighter. He did knock out Marcio da Silva. But this ain't working.
They try to have him be a shoot style. They try to have him be an MMA fighter in this, and The problem is this might have worked 5 or 6 years ago. Now everyone has seen UFC, and everyone knows what it looks like.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like this.
You cannot do bad shoot fighting in a shoot fighter gimmick nowadays. If they want to do this, this is the deal. He needs to go on the road 4 days a week and work this gimmick. And the other 3 days when he's at home, he needs to be enrolled in MMA classes of some sort. And he needs to be kicking the pads. He needs to be just working out all day long. Because he was doing kicks in this match that looked like shit. His spinning back fist was wacky. If you're going to do this stuff, you need to really train it, number one. And number two, I don't know if we need an MMA fighter gimmick. When I say that pro wrestling needs to learn from MMA, I'm not so much saying that we need guys doing MMA spots and matches. What we need is guys learning why MMA shows do such a great job building characters and selling pay-per-views. That's the issue. But if you're going to have it, the person that could do this gimmick better than anyone else is Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Because Kurt Angle is fucking fantastic, and he can work his legit stuff into a fake match. And right now, Sylvester Turkey is working fake stuff into a fake match, and that's not going to work.
Remember when Kurt Angle hit Carlito with a fireman's carry, and we rewound it and watched it several times?
Yes.
It was so great.
Yeah, basically, Turkey, he needs to be really shooting on guys, just not actually hitting them hard.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's too tentative, he's slow. This was not a good day. I would not have aired this on TV.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I would have had him do hundreds of dark matches before I put this on TV to get it right, because it looked way too phony.
Yeah, well.
Is the issue. But Elijah Burke was there. So.
Thumbs up for Elijah.
And the thing is, he's a real NCAA, they talked about his match in 92 with Kurt Angle. This guy can go.
Oh, yeah.
And in MMA, I think this was WWE's vision of what MMA is, and having Sylvester Turkey do it. Sylvester Turkey should have just shot on guys in there.
He should have just killed Matt Hardy.
Do legit amateur takedowns. Look at when Blaster Lashley does legit takedown.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fucking awesome. He doesn't do a fake double leg.
Yeah.
I mean, Turkey did a fake double leg, like a pro wrestling double leg. Retarded. Just fucking really take Matt Hardy down. Or what, are you afraid you're going to hurt him?
He'll get over it.
Just give him a real fireman's carry, really take him down, really ride him, really drive that forearm, and just be aggressive. Be a real shooter in there. Not a fake guy doing fake WWE shooting, but it's my rant on that goofball.
What are you going to do?
King Booker versus Rey Mysterio for the WWE title. Vince, go to town.
What makes you think I have anything to go to town with here?
Well, talk about the goddamn match. You don't
Yeah.
have to go to town, just talk about it. Even Kali agrees.
Yeah, sorry, Kali. Oh, I don't know. I'm bummed that Rey's not the champion anymore, but I may be the only one.
You're the only one.
Okay.
Why?
Just because I'm a mark is the truth.
Okay.
Because I'm a mark for the underdog, and the underdog was champion. That made me happy.
Sports fan in you.
It is, actually. But yeah, there's not. I don't mean there's a knock on Booker. We all love Booker T. We all love the T's. So anyway, they had another good match. Not great, just good. Rey's offense is just unreal. We talk about how it looks so much better when guys can really run the ropes. When Rey ran the ropes, he was tearing along and coming up with the head scissors. It was good stuff. And then eventually Chavo, who was not supposed to be there, ran down and yanked him in the dasher boards, and Rey took a mighty uncomfortable looking bump into the dashers, and Chavo
he hit his kidneys and ribs
on the corner of the board.
That's usually not the best idea.
It looked like it sucked.
Yeah.
And Chavo threw him back in, and Booker hit the scissors kick and pinned him, and that was that.
So
And one clean swoop
for Booker T. 2 in a row now. So it was an okay show. Nothing spectacular. I don't really have anything great to say about it, but it wasn't horrible or anything like that. The Regal and Finlay was the highlight of the show, but other than that, you can't really complain about it. It was just a show.
It was just a show.
It was just fine.